was a draw. Ballarat reward for their straight kicking earned half the spoils, 11-3, and Melton seemingly penalised, albeit getting their share of the spoils with 9 goals, 15. So 24 scoring shots to 14, and it ended up a draw. A couple of key outs heading into the match. Tristan Maple's been called up for Footscray VFL duties. There was some interest in Andrew Hooper and Brad Crouch being available, but they're taking their place as newcomers Alex Keith and Patrick Graham, two of the much spoken about 200 centimetre talents that the Swans have at their disposal in season 2026. Ryan Carter a big in for the Bloods, so their twin tower attack with himself and brother Liam expected to have an impact on Melton's fortunes. So as you can see by the vision, the ground's in super nick. It's a little bit breezy, expected to remain gusty throughout the afternoon. Similar conditions to what you'd expect here at McPherson Park. We'll endeavour to keep you updated with scores around the grounds as they come to hand. Sebastopol at home to Darley, both sides on 4-1. At the other end of the scale, the Lakers and East Point, they're 0-5. Back a smash at home to Sunbury. The Cobras 4 points of percentage ahead of the Lions, who look a little bit more like the Sunbury that we know, albeit on paper, near full strength this afternoon. Just Zach Stevens on the sidelines. But they do get the big in Jake Sutton, who made himself unavailable for the Swans VFL clash this weekend, albeit yesterday against Collingwood. But he's going to prove a handful, you'd think, at Mattingley Park. I did tip back a smash during the week, but with that Sutton in, you'd think it's going to be an uphill battle for the Cobras. But they did have an impressive win over Redan last week. So really looking forward to the competition. Update scores more broadly right throughout the afternoon. Redan host North Ballarat. So Redan have got some key experienced personnel coming back, and trumped with the talent of Geelong VFL listed Rory Gunser. So they'll be doing their best to take it up to North Ballarat. We'll have to get it done without Denver Granger Barras, and they also have a handful of players themselves on the sidelines in their best 22. Fletcher later looks done for the season, as to Will Bechet. So a couple of progressive types already done for the season. Granger Barras to be back ahead of finals for the Roosters. And not to mention the debut today of Dave Bricarici, the ruckman from the Sandful. So expecting some tight, and there'll be tight games across the BFNL this afternoon, and that'll welcome a pleasant change, given we had some big scores across the competition in the opening 5 weeks, on the back of, well, firm conditions underfoot, no doubt, and the new rules that keep the ball moving. Guys, not far off a start here. The toss imminent. We'll rejoin you in a couple of minutes' time for the opening ball-up of this match of the round fixture. It's Melton hosting Ballarat. Well, a very good afternoon to one and all, and welcome to the FNL's match of the round. Round 6 action here down in the east. It's Melton 3-2 hosting Ballarat 4-1 on the win-loss ledger. Really looking forward to this. Both teams can make a legitimate case for getting it done this afternoon. And let's hope the anticipation lives up to the billing. Big welcome to one and all who are tuning in right around the country here with genuine interest in these two potential finalists going head-to-head. If we get anything like the draw we had here last year, we're in for an absolute belter. It'll be Ballarat kicking to the left of screen. Melton with the aid of the breeze. First opportunity for Perkins. He's held up. We'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground. So one of the informed players at the Ballarat side in best 4 of 5 this year already. Never far away from the action now. Hickey fed it by hand to Geordie Kite. Keith off the knee. Got a nice little ricochet territory gain. Hickey's been in good form. Kick across the body from Scoble was hopeful. Had a little bit more time than he thought. The soccer off the ground from Ericsson. And in the direction of the 202 gamer in Braden Kite. The ball rolls over the line. We'll get a boundary throw in. Bloods in attack opening minute here. So not a great deal of sunlight. So comfortable for the players out there this afternoon. Throw in shallow. Tap one by Ferrugia. Looking for Geordie Kite. He's held up by Rinaldi. And we'll get a ball up. Umpire wastes no time. Graham knocked off the contest. It was good use of the body there from Ferrugia. And 2, his follow-up work to square away a stoppage on Rinaldi. We'll get a ball up. Lewis Rinaldi, of course. Zach wearing the number 15 today. Of course, Zach with 7 goals to his name in the opening 5 weeks. Ball up. Ferrugia again. Won the tap. Perkins out of the congestion. Beyond half-back. Bouncy ball. Cotter one of the hold. And he'll get it from the umpire. And a chance to rally through the line, over the boat. Didn't get a bite, Cotter. Could have just put his hands up and taken that. And he'll just go short, and the kick's safe to Jack Walker. He tries to thread the needle. It's a squaring kick, and the kick was good and found Stewart unattended. We'll go back and have a shot on goal here. In the opening 2 minutes for the perfect start, not only for his game, but the Bloods more broadly. Accuracy on goal. Shorter play role this afternoon with the gusty conditions. So I imagine left goal post for the left footer. Kicks on its way. It's bending back, but off to the left and through for a minor score. First score of the afternoon. So it'll be Keith to bring the ball back into play. And he's bereft of options, so he has to go by hand to Constable, who went with the right boot towards Simpson. Of course, Werribee VFL listed talent for the Swans. Offhands over the line, we'll get a boundary throw-in. So 55 metres away from the Melton goal. The Bloods, as they did last week against North Ballarat, have started well. Graham grabbed it out of the ruck. Now that's holding the ball. If you choose to grab it out of the ruck, you have to release it lawfully. So a let off there for the Swans. As Hooper sent the ball to outer centre wing. The mark's been taken there by O'Brien. At the Jack variety, 2 O'Briens out there today. Tristan Maple went out and Paddy O'Brien came in. But this was Jack to half forward. It went over there to ball and sundry. Hanley pinned there by Richard. It was an excellent tackle. Loose ball opportunity for Walker. He's tackled. Scoble foraging. Crouch got his first touch to Simpson. Ball went forward. Diving attempt to stall the momentum of the footy was good from Cotter. Hanley got the rebound. Fed it by hand to Geordie Kite. Phillips took on the tackle of Zach Maple and went with the boot to outer centre wing. Bouncing ball. Borg was clean. Tried to feed it forward to Hickey, who's tackled, taken to the ground there by Rinaldi. And we'll get a ball up on outer side centre wing. 4 minutes into this opening term. Bloods kicking with the aid of the breeze. Ballarat too good in the under-19s and the reserves. Let's see of the Bloods in this senior main game. As Borg centred forward, Ericsson got a kind bounce. Braden Kite always dangerous around goal when the unselfish squaring ball in direction of Carter. Speak of Ryan on this occasion, and he and Keith, the two big men, somehow end up at ground level, and we'll get a ball up. Fresh from his best on in the twos, albeit a losing side. Alex Kerr joins us. Welcome, Alex.
Cheers, Toddy. Good to be here.
Ball up, tap one by Carter to Scoble. Yeah, it was just momentum with some contact. Just aided that kick. So a 15-point loss to the Bloods in the twos. It's going to be a long year for your boys, but they showed a bit today.
Yeah, it is, especially against the outfit like the Swans, who have done so well the past few weeks. They put big margins on some good teams, so it was very promising to get that out here, but still plenty of work to do.
So it'll be Keith. Goes with the left boot beyond half-back through the hands of Cotter. He'd normally swallow those. Manito, ground level. Fed it by hand to Phillips. Standing start to half forward. They've got numbers here, the Bloods. Through Ericsson. Fed it by hand to Hickey, who did the right thing to the pocket. Kite. Good spoil from Battistello. Down the safety of the boundary line. We'll get a throw in. 25 metres around from the Melton goal.
Yeah, a bit of luxury there. 3 men all by themselves there for the Bloods. Hasn't eventuated in a score, but a nice throw in inside 50.
It's my first time seeing Alex Keith at this level. I actually thought he'd be a bigger unit physically. Well aware of his 200-centimetre standing. Tap, Ferrugia, Graham, call it even. Smart, took it on the tackle, but no prior will get a ball up.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be interesting to see how their inclusions play today. Obviously a big part of their side this year.
Well, Ferrugia just nudged Graham under the footy. And we'll get a boundary throw in. So some cracking games around the BFNL this afternoon. Alex, let's just hope that we can get some close ones, because there's been quite some separation in the scoring thus far.
Some big margins, that's correct.
This is Ballarat's first trip away from Ballarat this season. So let's see how they travel first up, away from Brick City. Greenshields just fed the ball towards the boundary line. It was cut off there by Squires. Zach Rinaldi spent it before he had it. Button, Ryan Carter, now Keith. Standing start, up into the breeze. You can see it hold up. Cotter in front, Handley with the spoil. Gee, that was good vision. And the Swans working out. Zach Rinaldi dribbling ball to Biggie. Surrounded by Bloods. Somehow was able to get it over that pressure. Maple did well to get it to Squires. His right foot kick missed all and sundry out of bounds on the full. And we'll get a rebound opportunity for Burquest, who's been a welcome addition to the Bloods lineup this year.
Yeah, he's played some great footy, Caleb. He'll be looking to keep on that train. He's just slotted into that back line so well. So his confidence is very high.
Important game for both sides. We've got the break next week with the interleague. The kick from Burquest was poor, really. Kicked it to one of the tallest men on the ground in Graham. He'll rebound. Awkward-looking kick. It's been cut off. And the squaring kick into the middle of the ground goes, over the head. Chance for Chase Scoble. Fed it by hand. Did the right thing. Gave the first option to Hickey. To Button. Ball might have got him high. Umpire said, no, we'll get a ball up.
Yeah, young driver there. He obviously made the right call to be able to switch the ball and get it to the other side of the ground quickly, but it just didn't come off. But the swarm from the Bloods was able to get possession again, and a nice inside 50.
Ball up, tap one by Graham. Ball on half forward. Now work it out here. Searching hand pass came broadcast side, and they're away. Right foot kick from Rinaldi was good and hit up Maple. Of course, no Tristan today, so Zach will just get the Maple surname throughout the afternoon. The kick went forward. Hooper the target. Was good body use there from Manito to Walker, to Hanley, back to Walker. Speak of Jack. No Lockton, no Riley today, so he gets the Walker honours. Hurried kick towards half forward. Excellent juggling mark taken here by Ferrugia, who started well and wheeled onto that right boot. Thornycroft in the back. Can he get a favourable bounce? He looked to go to the tap to Carter, who was elusive and then dropped it. And he'll be pinged by the umpire. And a rebound opportunity coming for the Swans.
Oh, very well defended there, especially with that outnumber.
So Biggie gets on the end of it. 52 metres away from the Melton goal. And it really is a struggle to transition the footy on this side of the ground into the breeze. But it's a good kick from Biggie. O'Brien had a couple to beat. Did well, brought it to ground. And we'll get a ball up right in front of us here.
Yeah, you're correct. And actually, the wind started blowing this way this morning and did change us back to its normal course. So it does make it very hard to transition.
Stewart won the tap. Hickey's been busy early, as he always is, to Geordie Kite, who threw the ball onto the boot. Got a territory gain towards the attacking 50. Keith had to wait under it for a while. Made it easy for Thornycroft to apply the pressure and square away a stoppage. 50 metres away from the Melton goal. Ballarat to be happy with this start. 9.5 minutes in. Just the one behind to the Bloods. Geordie Kite to a dangerous area. Carter got a touch on it. Kite out of midair. Ball had just crossed the goal line.
Well, these are good chances.
And we'll call it a rushed behind.
And they're going to miss. Yeah, this is you'd probably say at times in the game, you're probably going to feel like it's a 5-goal breeze. It can ease up a little bit, but out there in the reserves game, you definitely, both sides will leave plenty of goals out there. So it'll be interesting to see if they can, in this last 20 minutes, conjure some more.
So Keith gets the ball beyond the defensive 50. Tap. Oh, it was a good spoil there from Cotto, who wanted to hold on to Biggie. Denied by the umpire. Archibald fed the ball by hand, only as far as Geordie Kite. He's been busy early. Stewart went low for a big man, and he's been pinged for holding the ball. And Thomas Simpson, a Werribee VFL listed player, get his first real genuine disposal of the afternoon. He goes short, the kick's okay to Rinaldi. So he goes with the right boot to half forward. Biggie at the back. Well, he read it well. It just went over his head. Nearly out of bounds there, Phillips. Nearly had to kick it around the coach to get it back into play, if you don't mind. Thornycroft fed it by hand. No one's had more of it than Hickey at the moment. And they'll work it out here, the Bloods. It was an excellent hair pass from Green Shields to Geordie Kite, who went forward. Bouncing ball. It was well read off the boot. And they'll work it out here. The Swans through Rinaldi to Simpson. It was a good kick. That was Gray, in fact, who found Graham to Simpson. So they'll just look to chip it around.
It's been very hard for them to get into their forward half this side of the ground, and they keep trying to come out this way. So they must be thinking they can pick their way through.
So it'll be Squires, who kept the ball low. One of the better names in PFNL footy. White Squires, you've got to love that. Stewart, hurried left foot kick to the middle of the ground. Away from the outreached hands of Farrugia. Squires grabbed it and then fed it by hand towards Archibald, who went to Gray, who got the overlap in Hooper. He loves these. Lowered the eyes. It was an awkward kick, but it was safe nonetheless. And the mark's been taken just metres out from goal. And a shot on goal imminent here for Rinaldi.
All it took was that switch. Well, I was waiting for it. The way they were trying to pick their way through this side of the ground, it just wasn't working. It was turnover city, and all it took was that kick inside to create the space and just outnumber. It was fantastic work by the Swans, and they get a goal opportunity.
7 goals already this year for Zach Rinaldi. It's a good return from a small forward, pinch hit mid, and he gets an opportunity against the run of play to get the first goal of the afternoon. It's an excellent finish, and the Swans are on the board here at McPherson Park. 12.5 minutes in, they're 1 goal straight 6. They lead Melton 2 behinds, and they've been able to arrest all of that momentum, albeit territory, really, more than anything else, Alex, in the opening 12 minutes from the Bloods.
Well, you look at all the opportunities that the Bloods have had. The ball inside 50 honestly hasn't been very good. It's been quite poor, their entries, and all it took was a really nice entry there, and their shot on goal was from a spot where he's getting the ball 10 metres there from goal. A nice easy shot for a forward. So not only was it an inside 50, it was a good entry.
Yeah, kudos to Hooper for getting on the end of that and finding Rinaldi. Perkins missed the target. Squires had to be clean, and he was. He had some heat on that handball. Chance there for Rinaldi. He went short. The kick was okay to Biggie, who went to half forward. Perkins kept running. He got out the front, but a dribbling kick let him down. Phillips with a squaring hand pass. It was good understanding, but Manito dropped what he'd normally swallow. Got a favourable bounce. Was able to feed it by hand to Button, and they're away with a running bounce. It was good play there from the Bloods to half forward. Despite Liam Carter getting pushed, Smart was there first and foremost. And the opposing number 18 will square it to half back to Squires. He's normally a good ball user. Graham spent it before he had it. Now Borg lowered the eyes. Kick was good and found Ryan Carter. They looked to square the ball. The kick was good and found Geordie Kite. He's been industrious in the opening half of this first term.
He'll be aided here by the breeze, of course. But
Yeah.
it is an entry that's quite shallow, so wouldn't be surprised to see some blokes running past.
Well, there goes one, Manito.
That's right, yes. But really, he should be getting the distance from here with that breeze.
Well, he'll test his hamstring. 50 metres out from goal. He just sits it up and lets the breeze do the walking and the talking. The Bloods get the response they were after. They're back in front here. 1-2-8. They lead Ballarat 1 goal straight, 6. But, yep, as we touched on earlier, despite 85% of the ball being played in Melton's half and a 2-point lead to the Bloods, given the dynamics of the breeze and the like, it's fair to say that the Swans are in front, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, you'd definitely say so.
Of the game.
Of the game, yeah, without being on front on the scoreboard. And, yeah, the Bloods will be definitely very disappointed with the start, but they do have time to claw it back, and we'll see if that resurgence will come now.
Yep, they worked that one out well. That was a good entry, something you touched on earlier, Alex. And here they go again through Button. He's held up. Well, he dropped it in the air. Lucky to get away from that crouch tackle. Gathered by Squires, who fed it by hand to Battistella. Out direction of Gray, former BFNL representative. Scoble, Walker. Turned his opponent inside out and lowered the eyes. It's a good kick to Braden Kite. 65 metres out from goal. He wasted no time and went long. The kick was good. Mark's been taken by Carter. The Liam variety. He'll go back and have a shot on goal here. I mean, imagine he'll go around the body here. Alex, you know him better than I.
No, you know what? He is one of those ones where it doesn't matter the angle. He loves a drop punt.
The traditional.
He backs himself in. Yes, he does, very much so. I rarely see him kick a snap, if I'm being honest. Doesn't matter what side he's on, so it doesn't surprise me that he's lining up with the drop punt.
So a chance to get back-to-back goals in 2 minutes for the Bloods. Goal umpire does not move. Liam Carter's on the board. The Bloods have 2. And they extend to 2-14. They lead Ballarat 1 goal straight, 6. Near 16 and a half minutes gone opening term.
Yeah, can't go against his better judgment. He knows how to kick it from those areas, and he's playing some really good footy, and that's a very nice kick.
So Alex will keep you updated with the goal scorers quarter by quarter throughout the afternoon. And we'll give you some scores from around the grounds as they come to hand. But here, Melton lead by 8 points on the back of those back-to-back goals. It just may have been that goal to Rinaldi that has got the Bloods into the groove of the response. Manito off halfback, fed it by hand to Jack Walker, who went wide to Scoble. Has had a good couple of weeks. So that kick didn't lead him down. It was a kick of a confident young player to Hickey. So he wheels onto the right boot, goes towards half forward. Braden Kite, well, he had to stop and prop underneath it. Nearly got a free kick in the end. Perkins, loose hand pass, missed the target. It was meant for Keith. Look out! Gone! Holding the ball. Good pressure from Perugia. Just snuck up on Keith like a thief in the night, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal here.
Like a librarian, I think, from Perugia there, and he'll have a nice shot on goal. This is a very tough kick, though, we'll say, for the right footer. You'll need to start it outside the left post and hope that this wind doesn't push it across too far, because it can be strong at times.
Well, they play this ground so well, the Bloods. Sometimes they can be their own worst enemy, but they're never shy on having, plenty of shots at the sticks. So we'll see how Perugia can go here. He's an important player in this side. So it'll be Perugia. It's not a bad effort. Bending back, but just off to the left. Through for a minor score. Melton 2-3, 15. Ballarat 1 goal straight, 6. Ball comes in. Oh, gee, it was Rinaldi forced to fight for it again. It might have been Adam, in fact. It was. Stoppage will get squared away. Can't take an exit out of your own defence into the breeze for granted this afternoon. Ball up. Tap one by Graham. Went boundary side. Couldn't quite get to Crouch. Jack Walker ended up with ball in hand. We'll get a ball up.
At least the benefit for the Swans here that it's deep inside the pockets. They are hard to score from this end, so it's their best chance of defending.
Ball up, Ferrugia grabbed it out of the ruck, then spilt it. Perkins went the soccer, played the percentages, got it outside 50. Archibald went to the voice there of Maple, found him, gave it back to Archibald. It was an awkward but effective kick to Lewis Rinaldi, who went long into the breeze. Bouncing ball, don't forget that new rule, someone needs to touch it. But it was Burquest in the end who just carried it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Near half-forward broadcast side for Ballarat.
Yeah, Bloods were well set up there, and it didn't obviously aid the Swans that the wind was going to blow that ball back pretty much as far as it came. So, look, it was a good slingshot from the Swans, though, and it shows their intent to be able to sling off half-back.
Back of Smash, 18 leads Sunbury 1. Boundary throw-in, tap one by Graham to no real advantage. Hustled forward by Jack Walker, dribbling ball to half-forward. O'Brien committed well. Hand pass let him down a bit, made it difficult for Simpson, who fed it by hand to Perkins. They got it to Squires, who went with a right foot kick to half forward. Crouch to the pocket, outstretched hands. Richard couldn't hang on. Off hands, look at a boundary throw in 49 metres away from the Swans goal.
Here's an opportunity, another inside 50. Just about how they can set up behind the ball here, because the ball is going to carry a long way if it's cleared. You can see they got the spare back.
Time on opening term, tick over 20 minutes gone. 9-point lead to Melton. Swarm of players around the footy. And we'll get a repeat stoppage. I'll just enjoy some time in their front half, Ballarat. Rinaldi, good tackle from Geordie Kite. Perkins, been in good form for the Swans. Biggie, Gray, Smart, Battistella from half forward, wide of the pocket. Menito got on the end of it, read it best. And he looks to come broadcast side, does us all a favour. They went over the head of Hickey. Foot race on in earnest, Ferrugia. Couldn't quite, well, he did keep it in momentarily.
That was well disguised.
They'll take that. Both sides will be happy with a restart on half-forward broadcast side.
Yeah, both teams get to reset. As we mentioned before, it's key for the Swans to get their numbers behind the ball.
Throw in. Big ask for the boundary umpires today as well in that tricky breeze. Stewart won the tap.
Yeah, we had a few recalled in the game before, so wouldn't be surprised to see a couple here, but the young fellas, they're pretty good at it.
It's good to see Geordie Kite back for the Bloods. It's a handful of touches in this opening term. Throw in, favoured Stewart, won the tap, but somehow his opposing ruckman Graham ended up with the ball and set it forward. Off hands of the left hand of Cotter over the line. And the boundary throw in. So it'll be interesting to see how the Swans negotiate through this trademark Bloods defence, because they'll need to find a way to part with the points today. Graham knocked it forward. Richard came off the pocket. Archibald wanting it out of bounds on the full. Boundary umpire said no. And throw it in. 25 metres around from the Ballarat goal. 22 and a half minutes gone. Opening term. Both sides just feeling their way. With and into the breeze. Throw in. Graham at the back. Swing and a miss. Nearly got Stewart high. Ground ball. Walker. Speak of Jack. Right foot kick. Out in the direction of Menito. Searching hand pass. Out in the Cotter direction. He's opposing for Hooper. Excellent tackle. But Menito kept running and got reward for that. Went to outer centre wing. Braden Cotter knocked away from him. Gray was clean, but then was tackled, taken to the ground by Menito. It's been a serious chain there from Menito. He had the ball on the last line of defence. And now he's on half forward and sends the ball into attack. Oh, it's an excellent grab taken there by Keith. And just outpointed Liam Carter on that occasion. Goes with the right boot. It was Constable, in fact. Good show of strength there from Constable. Outer wing. Free kick will go here to Simpson on outer side centre wing. They're happy just to hang on to the footy here for a moment. Ballarat through Paddy O'Brien, who just lowered the eyes and went short to Zach Rinaldi, and the juggle was enough. Just had enough separation on Green Shields to get another crack at it. And he goes short to Squires, who's normally good by foot. And he comes broadcast side to Archibald, who's had a busy term. They go short again. Made it difficult for Smart. Excellent gather from Borg. Smart looks a little hurt. Rinaldi gathered. Fed it by hand, or by foot to Squires. Will continue to go along the line towards Biggie. Just a bit of body contact there from Phillips. She was a good run-down tackle there from Rinaldi. And he'll get the free kick for a throw-on button. And a chance to send Ballarat into attack. They'll raffle it here, the Swans, and Squires will get onto it. Surely they can get inside 50 from here, and they do with an awkward-looking kick. Richard presented in front of it, knocked away from him. Jack Walker needed to be quick. He was to Lachlan Phillips, and he'll turn it over with the Lasso, or Lasso, take your pick. Right in front of the Melton coach's box here. It'll be Simpson to bring the ball back into attack. 60 metres out from goal, and he hit up Biggie on this occasion. He's able to take that one. Well, nervously, really. It was a juggled attempt, but, gee, one grab marks in these swirly conditions, not easy today, Alex.
No, not at all. And it was a really persevering chain of footy there from the Swans, who they looked to try and get it down the outside, far side of the ground, and they chipped their way back over to this side of the ground, which it seems like they were where they want to be today on broadcast side. So they eventually got it back after a turnover, and now they're getting a shot on goal. So it was a nice persevering play.
So, Biggie, he's their leading goal kicker this year, despite missing last week. Well, the kick was never going to be online, given it started out in the middle with that breeze. Burquest, Hooper, went to ground. Burquest still into the contest. And the kick just smashed away there by Minito. Took the advantage of the breeze and got it beyond half back. Carter needed the favourable bounce. He knocked it towards Erickson, who did the right thing, who fed it to Scoble. Stopped prop, took a side step, back to his speed, took a running bounce, and another. Could have taken a third if you like, but he went long towards Carter. Well, both of them really, neither could impact the contest. It was well worked out there by Simpsons, and under the pump, tackled, taken to the ground by Borg. And just when they looked like they were going to find their way out of trouble there, the Swans, look out. Borg just swept on Simpson and has created a shot on goal here. Near 27 minutes gone into this first term. Yeah,
I think we go back into the entry. I think brother Ryan called out brother Liam there, and they both made a little mess of it, but Borg's able to mop back up, and he gets a shot here.
Tough shot, as you spoke about. Kicks on its way. Gee, it's not a bad effort from Borg. Yeah, there's his moment.
That's a fantastic
kick. 27 minutes. Excellent tackle and finish there from Kyle Borg. Bit of cream rising to the top. And the Bloods get an all-important third goal deep in time on of this opening term. 3-3-21 they are. They lead Ballarat 1 goal straight 6.
Yeah, you want to be kicking with the wind, of course, and I can tell you right now that at this end of the ground, those are the hardest kicks on either pocket. So, no, it's a fantastic drop punt. We look back to the entry that Ballarat did have, that the shots from about 40 on these slight angles at that end of the ground are going to be very hard to come by, or goals are going to be very hard to come by from there. Today, it's trying conditions up that side of the ground, but Ballarat is still well in this. Only 3 goals down in this first quarter.
Back at the restart, tap one by Graham. It just went into the fist of Stewart. Rinaldi with the percentage and just socketed it off the ground. Foot race on here. Scoble and Gray. Gathered by Max Scoble onto that left boot. Bouncing ball. Did Haynes get a touch on it before it went over the line? No, he didn't. So he'll get the Lasso rebound free kick. And the short kick was good. Found Gray a mile away from us here. Bloods lead by 15 points. Helicopter type kick. Difficult conditions with the breeze. Attack on the footy was good there from Archibald. Gather from Rinaldi was clean, and he sent the ball forward with the right boot. Richard in a one-on-one. Here comes Simpson. Left foot. Gee, he had the right intent, keeping it to the left side early, but just too much weight on the kick. just stayed left for too long. And Ballarat get their first behind of the afternoon.
That was a nice effort.
So Minito will go short to Hickey.
Very well done there. Stop the run.
Short to Green Shields. Kicks okay. Goes back to Hickey. I look to go a little bit more direct towards Geordie Kite. It was a good stretch. Took a nice grab. And then went looking for Ryan Carter, who presented and took a nice mark on the chest in front of Keith and wasted no time. Going forward towards Braden Kite. He got out the back, but Constable had some momentum through the footy. Gathered cleanly, and the execution was terrific to Simpson. Kick was safe from Simpson to Squires. Got Constable to the outside.
You can see the Swans just wanting to calm it down now, and there we go, the siren goes.
So Adam just clicked up a little stat, albeit a mark ahead of that opening quarter siren. It's Melton 3-3-21. Ballarat 1-1-7. Second half of that term was a little bit more entertaining than that of the opening half, but we did touch on that both sides just finding one or another out in this all-important game for both sides in the context of their season.
Yeah, most definitely. It's two sides that are going to be there at the pointy end of the year by the way that the results have panned out early this season. And yeah, it's obviously trying times when you're going into the breeze, but I think Ballarat handled that quite well. And I think Melton will be disappointed early on with their entries, but they were able to shore it up towards the end of the quarter and got a little bit more reward on the board.
Well, I'm anticipating that the breeze would be consistent around the region, given Bacchus Marsh 37 leads Sunbury 2. Sebastopol 39 lead Darley 16. Sebastopol kicking with a 2 or 3 goal breeze in the opening term, I'm told. East Point 31 lead the Lakers 12. No scores out of City Oval, the home of FNL football. You reckon there'd be something going on there that could aid our cause? And, of course, Melton 21 lead Ballarat 7. Alex, you got the goal scorers and before a break.
Yes, do have the goal scorers. We have, if we can get it up here, we have a goal for Liam Carter, Jordan Kite, and Kyle Borg. That's it. Yes, sorry, didn't get the last one. And then Zach Rinaldi with the one for the Swans. And yeah, that obviously entries were scarce for the Swans, but I felt like them being able to hit the scoreboard with their minimal entries is great up this side of the ground. So they'll have a lot of confidence kicking with the breeze this next quarter.
Bloods lead by 14 points, evenly poised game. Quarter time here at McPherson Park in BFNL's match of the round. A break and back with the second quarter action. The Swans to kick with the breeze. Rejoin us in 5 minutes' time. Welcome back to McPherson Park ahead of the second quarter action here. 14-point lead to the Bloods, 3-3-21. Ballarat 1-1-7. Ballarat to kick with the aid of a 2 or 3 goal breeze, Alex, in this second term.
Yeah, it's probably what it's eventuated to be. It was a bit blustier earlier in the day, but it's probably evened out a little bit more.
So we get playing away for the second term in FNL's match of the round down here in the east. Stewart got an important touch. Geordie Kite to back to Stewart, to Hickey, to Borg, who kicked the last goal of the game. And went this way, that way, and then fed it to Scoble. It took a nice one-take grab. Speak of Chase, who just looks to go short and chips it over towards Carter. Speak of Liam, who lowers the eyes into the pocket. Kick meant for Kite. It was cut off by Haints. So a rebound opportunity for the Swans. They'll need to make this quarter count. It's a tumbling, awkward-looking kick. Bouncing ball will favour the Brave. Liam Carter put one hand at it, couldn't grasp the footy. Smart could. Crouch, fed it by hand to Constable with a tumbling kick to outer centre wing. Handley had eyes for it. Richard did well in a 2-on-1, but numbers prevailed in the end through Phillips. And he went with the right boot. And he kicked it back to a 2-on-1, mind you. And a much improved Riley Constable. It was a good size in his own right. They stood tall in that opening term. So much so I had him in the Keith wheelhouse. But nonetheless, Rinaldi tumbles the ball forward, and Hooper reward for playing in front on that occasion of Burquest. And we'll go back and have a shot on goal here and use all his experience with the aid of the breeze.
Yeah, I think this is definitely in his wheelhouse, as you mentioned before, the wheelhouse of some players, and he's a class player in this competition. So I back him in definitely here.
So he's been a sharpshooter for a number of years in the Swans colours. And from outside 50, he'll get to the teeth of goal.
In the post.
One behind, hitting the post. So the Bloods will consider that a let-off, just albeit in the means of a minor score. And they do this well into the breeze, the Bloods. Geordie Kite got on the end of it and wasted no time towards Ryan Carter. It was a good spoil on the footy there from Keith to the advantage of Smart. It was a difficult handball received there for Battistella, who was forced to do the follow-up tackle on Borg to square away the stoppage in the end when they looked seemingly out momentarily.
Yeah, it is. And it happened a few times to the Swans in the first quarter. The way the ball holds up in the air makes it much easier to defend the slingshot.
Graham spent the majority of the time in the ruck. Tempted down to Rinaldi. His kick was cut off there by Burquest. He came broadcast side towards Scoble. Speak of Max, who'll send the ball back. Biggie's got the advantage. Loose ball, pressure on Crouch. It was for too long. They'll take the advantage, though, the Swans, through Gray to Hooper. He looks inboard and then toward goal. Cross the face, players set themselves. Bouncing ball. And O'Brien couldn't impact the contest, and we get a boundary throw in 15 metres around from the Ballarat goal.
Yeah, it's a fair let-off there for the Bloods. They're very lucky there that Ballarat couldn't capitalise. It's a great opportunity inside 50.
So the one behind in the opening 3 minutes of this term for Ballarat with the breeze. Stewart, O'Brien fed the ball by hand to no one in particular. Squires foraging, Hickey, ground level. The gather was clean from Jack Walker. He fed it by hand to Geordie Cotter. It's a nice use of the body by Farrugia on Adam. And he'll lope away onto the right boot. We get a territory gain. It was a good kick into that breeze. Carter, good use of the body. Speak of Ryan on Keith on that occasion. Somehow the ball stayed in, just as I was anticipating a throw-in, and we'll get one in the end. Near half forward out of side for the Bloods. Not expecting a high-scoring game today, Alex, given what we've seen.
You wouldn't think so, but there's been times where the ability to break the game open has happened here, so not going to rule it out just yet.
Tap one from Stewart, searching for Geordie Kite, missed him. Neither ruckman the beneficiaries of that shallow throw-in fairness. 13-point lead of the Bloods, 4.5 minutes gone second term. Stewart Found Kite on that occasion. Dumped as he kicked. High up and under kick. Borg. Good use of the body on Haints and went with the left boot. Came wide. It'll sit up for Scoble. He'll back in his speed against Gray, who's no slouch, but the finishing let him down. Missed to the left and every bit left out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, not the greatest kick there from Max. He was able to burn off his man before. I think he owed him one from earlier on, but just couldn't know the finish.
So Gray will get on the back of that Simpson exit kick. He can just chip it over to Perkins if he likes, but he'll go the longer option. Beautiful looking kick. Graham just had too much weight on the kick. Ground level ball. Squires wanted the hold. He won't get it. We'll get a boundary throw in. Right in front of us here, attacking side of centre wing for Melton, who are into the breeze in this second term. 5.5 minutes gone. Scoble and Geordie Kite off for a breather. Throw in. Graham won the tap. Crouch through traffic. Couldn't get through. Fell into the hands of Stewart. Got an important little tumbling kick forward. Battistella was strong going back with the flight of the footy. And he'll go short towards Constable, who's got time to measure the kick, but it was an awkward one at that. It was nearly cut off there by Chase Scoble. Reading at ground level there was Haynes. It was a hopeful hand pass rather than anything else for Simpson. And the Bloods outnumber will prevail through Chase Scoble to Handley, wide towards Cotter. They've got an important hand on it just inside the boundary line. I would have coughed it up given the new rule there, Alex.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think it's well ingrained into the players' minds now that they have to touch the footy before it goes out of bounds, and they do it well.
The digital scoreboard, a representation of the minimal sunlight here today. Jack Walker out of the congestion. They work it out here. The Bloods through Rinaldi and Simpson. Ball gets to half forward. Umpires picked out a free kick in the back. It's going to go the way of the Bloods.
Fortunate.
And it'll be Handley to Manito to Cotter. Gee, we've said that a few times over the last 3 or 4 seasons. And found Chase Scoble, who's beginning to have some impact in his games with more games in at the level. Kick was terrific to Greenshields, who didn't let him down. He's off on his bike with the right foot kick towards the attacking 50. It was a poor kick, given Haints, one of the smaller men on the ground, was able to mark uncontested overhead in the end. So a chance for Crouch, who sent the ball to the outer side of the ground. Only went as far as Chase Scoble. They went short and effective nonetheless to Liam Carter, who went looking for Farrugia. Swans have got an outnumber here, but they've just about run out of space and time. Crouch searching hand pass meant for Battistella, missed the target. Kite asked the question, denied. We'll get a boundary throw in 15 metres around from the Bloods' goal.
Well, I think that Crouch kick was a representation of how well the Bloods have been set up behind the ball here. When Ballarat have the breeze, it's a credit to them so far.
Boundary throw in, tap one by Graham to no real advantage. Swooping was Liam Carter. He was forced to apply the tackle in the end. Concede a free kick. It'll go to Adam. Adam will go with that left boot to Squires, who sends the ball broadcast side out, direction of Hooper. Just needs to sit for him. Well, it did in the end. Well, he was held without it. Good bit of craft there from Hooper after that initial fumble. But he took the bait. Gave away a free kick. So Hooper on halfback for the Swans. That sidestep was always going to happen given how close he got to Batty. And he went with the right foot kick to half forward. Manito's been good. Quick hands to Stewart. High up and under kick. Hooper under it. Well, he had his hand on it, but Breezy, well, benefit of the doubt. Greenshields to Borg. Centre wing. Went towards Carter and Keith. Out the back got Kite. Now he just sat it up, but he's wanting a favourable bounce here. Bouncing, rolling ball. Oh, reward for getting numbers back. And it'll work out well for the Swans. A rebound kick from Keith was okay to Simpson, who found Squires. It was off, but umpire said, no, that's okay. He's off now, and he got around Batty and went with the right foot kick towards the attacking 50. Maple went the spoil. Bloods have got numbers. They nearly made a mess of it. Cotter went low. Bloods wanting high and denied. And they'll get a ball up 40 metres away. from the Swans goal.
Sometimes they can deem that the duck down as a prior opportunity there, so a little bit of a let-off there for the Bloods.
Opportunity for the Swans here. Can they get something out of stoppage? Well, they won't. It'll be a Bloods ball. It'll be Batty. He'll go short to a dangerous area. Barely went the required. Jack Walker will wheel onto the right boot. Kick was good and found Hickey. They went searching for Handley. Got him in the end. Oh, the sidestep was terrific on Zach Rinaldi, and he ran away and he showed his pace. And he went with the right boot towards the left forward pocket. Bouncy ball. Thornycroft and Haints. He got the support he wanted through Constable. Standing start, right foot kick. Button sets himself, got a hand on it. Archibald, handball was hopeful. Bloods have got numbers through Hickey. Inboard to Handley, standing start. Wide towards half forward, Carter presented. Took a nice grab. And he went forward looking for brother Ryan, overcooked the kick and it was cut off there by Keith. Awkward kick, not out of trouble yet. Smart managed to give it back to Keith. He kept running and went wide to Biggie. And he took a mark on half back. He's a thumping kick when he wants to be, this fella. And he'll go short to Zach Rinaldi. Through the middle of the ground. He goes direct. Perkins the target, but it was cut off there by Minito. Bereft of option, forced to concede with a 45 to Batty. They'll find Geordie Kite. 11 minutes gone. Second term, no goal to Ballarat with the breeze at the moment. Liam Carter along the line to Ferrugia. Took a nice grab in front of O'Brien. The kick was good. Found Jack Walker. They've been good into the breeze, the Bloods, with their ball use for the most part. Thornycroft could have gone inside to Scoble, but he thought, no, I'll just hack it out of bounds on the full instead. Turnover, and Constable will do the rebounding for the Swans.
Yeah, unfortunate for the young man after such a good possession, but you are correct. The way that they chip the ball around definitely is aided against this breeze.
So Constable, who's made an impressive start to the game. A high up and under kick to an outnumber. Bloods have favoured. Small on the ball was okay from Drever, but only went as far as Rinaldi. He went with the right boot, threaded the needle, found Hooper. And he looked to get the ball moving. It was a well-weighted kick in the air, but it was cut off by Cotter. Zach Rinaldi visually disappointed with the body language, and Cotter ran away with a third bounce. Through the middle of the ground, fed it by hand to the outside. Got it towards Button. To Carter, speak of Ryan, standing start. Open the door, Button, not out of trouble yet. Here the Swans. Right foot kick. It's fortuitous across the face, and Ferrugia got on the end of that Button kick, and we'll go back and have a shot on goal here. A chance to get a priceless one into the breeze.
Sure, Button would probably look at that as a pass, but it's worked out quite well for the Bloods, and I think they deserved an opportunity, a goal for the movement around the ground, so this is their chance.
So, Ferrugia, quite handy around goal. Does generate 3, 4, sometimes 5 of his own. It's not a bad effort, but it's just a little bit right, I think. No, he likes it.
Giving it.
He snuck it through there, Ferrugia. And the Bloods get an all-important goal into the breeze. And they extend their lead to a 19-point advantage. 4-3-27 Melton. Ballarat 1-2-8.
Yeah, and I don't think you were too wrong in thinking that they might have just missed. I think most here on the balcony weren't too sure if that went through, but he was able to sneak it home, and he adds to another singular goal scorer for the Bloods. They do like to share their goal scoring around, and usually all the forwards get a lick of the lollipop by the end of the game. So they've started off early with the individual goal scorers.
Sunbury got one back against Bacchus Marsh. Sunbury with the aid of the 4-goal breeze in this term. Back at the restart here. Loose ball opportunity. Gathered there by Perkins, who got it to Simpson, who went long inside 50 to O'Brien. Handley second grab, pay the mark every day of the week. And they'll get the rebound here. Manito fed the ball by hand to Batty. Slow kick, but it was enough. Found Geordie Kite. Played on, went by hand. Left foot kick there from Perquest. Scoble kept it in. Gave it to Ferrugia. Went searching for Thornycroft, but the pressure on the handball was enough. They'll get the ball back here, Ballarat. The ball bounced out of bounds. That Ferrugia handball.
Yeah, very good call.
Biggie overcooked it. Liam Carter couldn't gather. Simpson went the percentage. Oh, paid off at the end. Crouch with the don't argue. He went back to Archibald. Found Perkins. Gather was clean and went forward to a one-on-one. Hooper and Burquest. Good use of the body there by Burquest. Saves the day for the Bloods. Near 15 minutes gone in this second term. And the Swans without a goal with the breeze. Borg found Batty. And he elected to go to the outer side of the ground with a short kick to Cotter, who marked 60 metres away from the Ballarat goal. Bloods by 19. 15 minutes gone. And just like to chip it around. Cotter will get it back in the end.
We now got the Bloods are playing it at this game where they're able to chip the ball and get their own options.
Cotter goes long, albeit into the breeze. Now Biggie doing some roving at the back. Now went the first option in the end to Constable. It was the right one. And the Constable kick comes broadcast side to Battistello, who's got some separation on Carter. Now it's all about decision-making and execution. Diving attempt from Richard. Was Nullen forward in the end, and the Bloods will get it back. No, it's going to be a throw-in.
So this is what we had talked about earlier on in the season.
Richard got a hand on it, I think.
Oh yes.
Darley 3-7, trail Sebastopol 7-4. Throw-in. Biggie in the ruck. Good use of the body by Thornycroft. Threaded the needle to Green Shields with the right foot kick into the middle of the ground. Foot race on here. Battistella used the advantage of the outnumber with a clever tap to Haynes. Middle of the ground. Gray after the footy. Forced to stop and prop. Turnover opportunity. Foot race on. Ericsson took on Haynes. Was tackled, taken to the ground. Here come the reinforcements for the Bloods in Borg, who's buried up on the ground there by O'Brien, and will get a ball up.
I think something that we can also touch on for the Swans is how well they've defended Braden Kite inside 50. He's now had to work his way up into the stoppages.
Ball up. Perkins out of stoppage, dribbling ball forward. Zach Rinaldi wanted the hold. Now he's gone to ground. Cotter foraging. Now he's in trouble. And umpire said, right call. Ball up. Half forward. Outer side of the ground for Ballarat, who are in search of that score, albeit on the major front with the breeze. Thornycroft out of the congestion to a space. Hickey, good use of the body, went back, took them on, threw it away. And they'll take the resultant free kick here. The Swans through Squires. Who'd lower the eyes, the kick was good.
That's great play.
And Simpson with a shot on goal here. So he hasn't been shy around goal either this year, Simpson. 7 goals to his name also. So he's Zach Rinaldi and their leader this year, Biggie, who's coming off looking every bit sore. I'm not sure whether that's his natural gait, but that doesn't look encouraging for the Swans. And the kick on goal from Simpson is off to the right. So a let off for the Bloods, a third behind for Ballarat. And the margin now 18.
I was going to mention earlier that after that contest here, broadcast side, Newon did limp away quite sore, so not a surprise to see him coming off.
Benito, like a 3-iron beyond defensive 50. Perkins fed the ball by hand. The gather was clean from Ferrugia, fed the ball to Geordie Kite, who just threw the ball onto the beat. Oh, Constable with a rare error in the opening half. Loose ball, Paddy O'Brien, searching hand pass, meant for Gray. Got an important touch on it before it rolled over the line.
Hold the man.
I'll get a free kick for a hold.
Yep, good call. You sometimes see the umpires not pay that, but it's definitely there, so that's the right decision.
So Gray, a chance to send the Swans into attack, and goes long in the direction of Keith, who's gone forward. Hooper gathered cleanly, just couldn't break the tackle of Handley. And we'll get a ball up 40 metres away from the Ballarat goal. 27 plays 9 here. Bloods in front. Good leap from Stewart, only as far as Perkins with a high up and under kick. Landed on the roof of an SUV, which is the perfect segue to get an update score from around the grounds. We anticipate to be midway through the second term of BFNL action. Bacchus Smash 44, Sunbury 22. Sebastopol 53, Darley 31.
Hanging in there.
East Point 58, Lake Windermere 18.
Yeah, so he's doing the work as they should be against the Lakers. But yeah, Sebast's really hanging in there against that Breeze. Oh.
Tap. Well, the kick out of defence from the Bloods. Only went as far as Perkins. Crouch somehow. Manufactured a hand pass towards Simpson. Charging off the last line was Benito. And went with the right boot. Momentum all through the footy. It'll be cut off. Mark's been taken there by Constable. He went wide to
kick.
Half forward. Kick was good there towards Rinaldi. He went in the Richard direction. Off his hands. Benito again. He's been super in the opening half. Kick didn't let him down. To Borg, who got the overlap. To Button. He's got Ericsson forward. Just needs a favourable bounce here. And he gets it in the end, and he went one way then the other onto the left boot. To the pocket. It was a pull kick. Cut off there by Gray, who's covered some distance in this second term. Spears the ball. Meant for Graham and found him. Another short kick. Into the middle of the ground towards Simpson. From Rinaldi, and he went wide towards Adam. It was O'Brien, in fact. He went wide to outer wing. And the Bloods will get the resultant free kick right in front of that favourable scoreboard for them at the moment. That reads that they lead by 18. The 45 kick went back to Batty, who found Manito. In the best 4 or 5 games for the Bloods this year. Well on his way to making it 5 out of 6. Kick from Walker towards Scoble.
See that Breeze, take it.
Now it'll sit for him. He just needs to feed the ball now and miss the target. Burquest out of bounds. The Bloods will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate the way that. Tell you what, in this last 20 minutes, this quarter, it's been a game that's been bereft of opportunities for both sides.
Throw in. Time on. Ballarat still goalless with the Breeze. There's Simpson. Tumbling kick forward to an outnumber. Richard had to change direction. Bending. And then he dribbled it over the line off the boot. In the end, it'll be a free kick to the Bloods. So Phillips with ball in hand. Right in front of the Swans coach's box. It's good to see Biggie moving freely. Looks like he'll come back on. It's a good kick. A good stretch from Thornycroft. Can they find another option forward? So he kicks through the footy. O'Brien in front of it, knocked away from him. Rinaldi did the mopping up and fed it by hand to Constable, who went into the Richard direction. Good spoil there from Phillips. He was terrific. Just needs some support. And didn't get any. Had to do it all himself. Squared away a stoppage in the end.
It's well done by the big fullback. Sometimes that's what you got to do, kill the ball and get the stoppage.
23 minutes gone, second term. Just the one goal for the quarter. Perkins, hand pass too hot for Simpson. Jack Walker, now you're in trouble. Oh, lucky to get away with that.
You see them paid, that's for sure.
We'll get a ball up.
I think both sides are probably thinking they'd be quite disappointed at this point in time because I know the Bloods have had some nice opportunities. It's hard to kick against that Breeze, but Ballarat just haven't been able to generate good looks.
It's just the old footy arm wrestle cliche,
yes,
Alex.
It very much is.
And that is a phrase that when you try and think of 4 or 5 other superlatives and they don't suit, you've got to just get back to the old grind, arm wrestle, crouch, Squires. Now he held Geordie Kite. So I think he'd be getting a bit frustrated here, the Swans. Just the one goal to their name. Bloods defence holding up. Kite towards the attacking 50. Liam Carter. Searching hand pass meant for Thornycroft. And his hand pass was ricocheted off the hands of Constable. We get a boundary throw in 52 metres away from the Bloods goal, who are hanging in this second term. Throw in. Tap one by Graham. Swing and a miss by foot. Perkins. Simpson across the body. Cotter got a fist on it. Safety of the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in.
I think that's a disappointing thing for the Swans, though, because it feels as though they've been the side that have been trying to hang in for a majority of this quarter, while the Bloods have been moving the ball so well, which, with this breeze, it is very much a missed opportunity this quarter for the Swans, and they're hoping that with the last 5 minutes that we'll probably have available here that they can hit the scoreboard.
Throw in. Graham searching. Batty got a terrible bounce. Was good use of the body by Squires. Loose ball opportunity. Stolen by Squires, and he pumped it forward. Running back with the flight was Hanley. He got a terrible bounce, really. And then, Phillips just knocked it out of bounds. Look at the boundary throw in 25 metres around from the Ballarat goal.
Here's the opportunity for the Swans. They need a goal here. At this point in time in the quarter, they'd probably a little bit disappointed with the way that they've gone about it so far. But this is a big chance to get a score on the board.
I reckon there's half a dozen Ballarat guys, 6'2", white boots, and a mustache out there today.
Make it hard to call, that's for sure.
Adam, left foot, standing start, got plenty of it. Last line, Phillips just knocks it through. The safety of a rush behind. Bloods will be happy with that. 1-4-10 Ballarat. Failed Melton, 4-3-27. Just the one goal kick for the term, near 26 minutes gone. And here they go again, the Bloods defence. They make it look easier than what it is. Cotter went wide towards Braden Cotter. Will get a free kick here. And every territory game from here on to the halftime siren will benefit the Bloods. It's a good stretch from Liam Carter. He outpointed Constable on that occasion. Wasted no time going forward. Thornycroft, O'Brien held without it. And he'll get the free kick.
Well defended.
So a late in, Paddy O'Brien for Tristan Mabel. He goes short to Smart. He can just chip it over the top to Battistella. He can run towards the defensive 50 as Hooper presents. Burquest did well, got a fist on it. Here comes the support through Batty. Important fist on it from Crouch. Button held up. We'll get a ball up. Half forward broadcast side for the Bloods.
It's a game of fine margins in and around that contest.
17-point lead of the Bloods. 3-2 heading in. 4-1 heading in was the Swans. Hickey's kick was a shallow entry inside 50. Paddy didn't take body or balls. Opened the door for Squires. His hurried kick was cut off there by Jack Walker. Fed it by hand. Was a good one to Drever, to Farrugia, to Jack Walker, to Burquest. Good vision. Got it to Chase Scoble on true centre half forward. And it'll probably take Chase 4 kicks from here into that breeze.
He's going to have a crack by the looks of things. But
well, it'll be another little dot on the Premier Data stat for him, though, this shot after the siren.
That is true. You need to take him.
17-point lead of the Bloods.
Oh, he called play on.
He's fair, he can kick that 60 metres.
He's gave that a good roost.
So the breeze must have just stopped momentarily.
Yeah.
And, well, that was one of the biggest kicks of the game, albeit into the breeze.
That's right.
So that could have been one of the biggest boilovers since Polly put the kettle on, if he had sunk that one. 4-3-27 Melton, lead Ballarat 1-4-10. Yeah, they would be disappointed with their time with the breeze, Ballarat. Just the one goal for the term. You got the goal scorers, Alex?
Sure do. We got Liam Carter, Jordan Kite, Kyle Borg, and Conrad Farrugia with one goal for the Bloods each. And the Swans, Zach Rinaldi, their only goal scorer. We look at the scoreline, there's 7 scoring shots, 27 points for the Bloods, to the Swans 1-4. So they're 5. So not really too far in between. It's just about how the Bloods have been able to take their opportunities a little better, and they still had plenty of chances in that quarter against the Breeze and just weren't able to capitalise. So it is quite disappointing for the Swans on that front. They weren't able to make the most of the scoring end, which this end of the ground usually is at Mackey Park, and there'd be definitely some talking points at half-time about how they get themselves back into this contest.
I imagine there'll be some talking points going around the BFNL at the respective grounds at the halfway mark of their round 6 games. Back a smash, 9-2-56. Lead Sunbury 4-5-29. Sebastopol 8-6-54. Lead Darley 5-7-37. Lake Wintery, 4 straight 24, trail East Point 8, 11, 59. And we've got no scores out of City Oval, Redan v North Ballarat. So some interesting games going on around the region as the season continues to take shape on the ladder as we near half-time of this round 6 BFNL match of the round. Honours with the Bloods at the half. It's an arm wrestle of sorts. They lead by 17 points. 4-3, 27, Ballarat 1-4-10. A break, back with the third quarter action in around 10 minutes' time.
So we get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put it in front.
Bloods, who's at centre half forward and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous-ish spot in the left forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy to Fulton, outstretched hands.
Danger.
Together from Pittard, took a bounce on the cricket pitch if you don't mind. Kicked into a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back-to-back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chance for McLean, who loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable. Welcome back to McPherson Park ahead of the second half action in BFNL's match of the round here in the east. It's Melton. With the upper hand, they lead by 17 points against Ballarat. And the Bloods kick with the aid, well, of a calming breeze in this third term.
Probably hard to determine what it'll be for the rest of the game.
Well, we were right early, tipping a low-scoring affair. Now Smart, the handball received from Perkins, dribbling ball to half forward. Hooper presented, ricocheted off his boot. Perkins was the beneficiary, was clean. And went by hand to Graham, who gave it to Crouch and came wide to Zach Rinaldi on half forward, who's kicked the only goal for the Swans this afternoon, albeit into the breeze. And he lowered the eyes and the kick was good. And found Simpson, who had one of the rare shots on goal for Ballarat in the second term. Let's see how it'll go into the breeze. Well, we saw Chase Scoble have a shot on goal from inside the centre square. You could have got hundreds with me, and gee, for a moment there, I was looking for an Uber. So it'll be Simpson, who just chipped into the pocket, looking for Biggie, and found him.
It's a good kick. Very good kick. Lowering the eyes, I think that's the main thing there. We've seen a lot of blokes have shots from these these positions that at this side of the ground are very hard to take, and it's obviously called out the Bloods' defence there, and a great lead from Yuan.
Well, any angle here at McPherson Park with a breeze is a difficult shot on goal.
Either side, that's right.
And it'll take Biggie's best. He'll need to go left to right this time. And he likes it off the boot. And an important first goal of the third term into the breeze to narrow the margin to 11. And according to the digital scoreboard, 45 minutes into this third term.
Oh, gee whiz. That's fantastic forward craft there from you on to get that lead going and take that mark. And like you said, he didn't really start it where he'd probably want to be kicking the ball from that side of the ground. But he puts a lot of power into his shots, as we know, and it was just enough to get past the post first.
Well, back at the restart, bear with us. We won't be able to keep you updated with an accurate time frame of this third term, given what's on the scoreboard. Now, the Bloods aiming to get a response quickly through Green Shields. Oh, that's an excellent stretch from O'Brien. So, Paddy on the last line. Brian McNabb, he's happy and up and about here at Mackie Park. That might be you that's in the, should be in the timekeeper's box, Nabby, given it says 45 minutes into this third term.
We'll bring it when we're in front.
So they work it out, Ballarat, momentarily. They're not out of trouble yet. It'll be Perkins, who continues to accumulate. He's had an almost game. He's just been there more often than most, and he gets it again. And speaking of that almost description, it just came away from his firm hands, and we'll get a ball up on the outer centre wing. 11-point lead. Swans with the spirited start to this third term, albeit into it. Crouch, free kick. It'll go to the Swans. And Crouch took the advantage to Simpson, who went to half forward. Cotter got the clean gather and fed the ball short. Umpire's going to call a stoppage here.
That's clear intent by the Swans early on in this third term. I could imagine there was some words said in the dressing room at halftime to get him back into this contest.
So it'll be Stewart through the legs of Squires. Graham knocked it forward, only as far as Manito. Geordie Kite, second effort okay. Got a territory gain, but he put himself under the pressure to execute with that fumble. And Gray sent it forward. Hickey got an important touch on it. Handley, Cotter, the big guns combined. Burquest, left foot kick was good. Presenting was Ryan Carter. Fed the ball by hand to Stewart. Tumbling left foot kick inside 50. Bouncy ball. Haynes got an important touch on it. Not out of trouble yet, though, the Swans. His gather was clean. Fed it by hand to Constable. Smart was just that. Kept it in and fed it by hand to Gray, who went with a long right foot kick to outer centre wing. The spoil from Crouch. Well, it was crafty and effective. And getting on the end of it in the end was O'Brien. He's off on his bike. And he took a running bounce and he fed it by hand to Gray, who's normally a good user. He went inboard by hand to Crouch. 55 metres out from goal. He just chips it up. It's all the Bloods, but they make a meal of it. Perkins went through his hands. They've got to work it out here, as they so often do, the Bloods defence. Dreamer with a right foot kick to outer centre wing to a 2-on-1. Numbers prevail. Gee, you'd reckon they'd work that out by now in this modern game, as Squires, he too has got to overcome an outnumber. They prevail again. Go figure. Hickey, Chase Goebel, tumbling kick. It's been cut off there by Keith. Left foot, short to Crouch. So a couple of the more experienced campaigners of the Swans. Hook up. And he goes with the right boot out in the direction of Hooper. Trio of AFL experience. Stolen by Scoble. Speak of Chase, who went to outer centre wing. Terrific kick. Found Carter. It's had a good game, Chase Scoble. Right foot kick from Carter to the pocket. Jack Walker kept running. He's the running man of this team. And he squares the ball by foot, but it was well read off the boot by Constable. And he'll get a chance to rebound.
Well, that's very well defended on that, in that situation, especially when you start the wrong side of your man to be able to read the ball better. It's fantastic work.
Zach Maple got on the end of it. Father Chris down watching Tristan today. Shouldn't be far off. Let's hope he's tuning in via the FNL Match Centre, just copping the audio rather than the visual and keeping his eyes on the road. And Maple finds Squires, who's not in a rush.
He's been fantastic today, Squires.
And he didn't let you down with that kick either. He threaded the needle to Zach Rinaldi, who went inboard to Perkins. He sidestep on Stewart was good, and he fed it to the pocket, looking for Hooper. His opposing number, Cotter. They'll square away a stoppage here in the end, as Hanley ensures some ball security, and we'll get a ball up 25 metres away from the Ballarat goal.
Can't fault this start from the Swans, that is for sure. They've been electric.
Unlike the timekeepers here, ball up. Geordie Kite across the body. We'll get a territory game beyond the defensive 50. Loose ball spoil. And this one will end up in a stoppage also, as Rinaldi is held up by Braden Kite. 11-point lead to Melton. We'll give that tap to Stewart, to Jack Walker. Kick didn't go the required, so Simpson went the thump. Only as far as Walker. He got it back, who fed it by hand to Button, who kept it in. It was a good spoil on the footy there from Smart, but they worked it out well as Green Shields found Button and went inside 50. Carter wanted to hold. Keith and he have had a good battle today, and Carter will just ride him into the ground outside of the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in 25 metres around from the Bloods goal.
Very well defended. That's the experience there from a player like Keith on a forward that's been so good in this competition in Ryan Carter over the years. It just shows that that class has prevailed there. They're going to be a great matchup for the rest of the game, that's for sure.
Wild guess, 10 minutes into this third term. Throw in. Tap one by Thornycroft to space. Dangerous area here for the Swans. But Keith gathered, fed it by hand to Battistella. He wanted to hold and then went to ground. Was held up by Geordie Kite, and we'll get a ball up.
Key to get something out of this for the Bloods, who have started definitely on the back foot. This is a great chance to get the score on the board.
Ball up. Carter took them on, dropped it, no prior. Umpire called play on. Now here's a chance for Max Scoble. Right place, right time. That's the benefit, or an example right there of holding your width in your position there and not getting sucked in. And Scoble was able to, in the old school, the old wall they used to call it, Alex.
Yes, and I suppose he'd definitely be wanting to get his name on the score sheet. He struggled a little bit today, but here's his chance to stake his claim.
Well, just kick it to the tallest posts, and he's just done that, Scoble. And he nearly fell over celebrating. That's how happy he was with it. And they get the response they needed, albeit probably 12 minutes into this third term. I'll just take a look at the screen. Now we're 9 minutes in. 33 Melton plays Ballarat 16. We've got a game on here. Ballarat have had some time in their front half, albeit into the breeze. And you would think this 17-point lead from Melton is not safe yet, given so the Swans have the aid of the breeze and a 4-1 win-loss ledger next to their name heading in. Ball up, tap one by Stewart. Off the wing came Simpson, and they worked it out to Rinaldi. Right foot kick. Presenting there was Zach Rinaldi. Second effort was good and got it to Simpson, who wasted no time, but lowered the eyes. Went to O'Brien. Ground ball. Stoppage imminent. We'll get that as the two central umpires work out just who's in charge. They'll come in and we'll get a stoppage 40 metres away from the Ballarat goal. Tic-tac-toe, if you don't mind. Ground ball. Chance for Archibald. Cotter. Good pressure from the Swans. Archibald, one of those, will get a ball up 35 metres out from the Ballarat goal.
Even to get back inside 50 there by the Swans, their ball movement's so much more fluent, something that we didn't see in the first half.
Tap one by Stewart. Button had a slap at it to no real advantage. And we'll get a ball up.
And the forward pressure. Can't fault that either.
Simpson, he's a newcomer to the Ballarat Swans. He must have passed the application test with that body type of the dark hair mustache. It must be between 6'1" and 6'3". You're more than welcome. Doesn't help the caller, though, nonetheless. Speak of the devil, Simpson goes to ground. Ushered over the line by Chase Scoble. We're getting throw in on half forward out of side.
Yeah, happy to see a throw in there. A chance to reset for both sides. And it's a chance for Melton to really reassess this start from the Swans, who have been electric so far, as we mentioned before.
11 minutes gone, third term. Melton with the breeze. Hooper, fit it by hand. And got it to Simpson. He's had a bit of it today. Standing start. Good. O'Brien had it knocked away from him. Cotter was clever. Got it to Benito. Tried to thread the needle through traffic. Had to release the ball to Scoble. Found brother Chase. And through the middle of the ground went Walker. It was a good chase there from Lewis Rinaldi. Thornycroft presented. Fed it by hand to Cotter. Dumped as he kicked. High up and under. Liam Carter got a hand on it. And there's an out number. He just needs some help. Where's he going to get it? He might have infringed there with an over the shoulder, and he did. Free kick to the Swans.
It's a great defensive craft there.
And Gray will transfer play to the outer side of the ground. I'll work it out here. As Simpson forgot to provide the protection to Squires after that handball give. Archibald's got some toe. He ran away from Paddy and delivered inside 50. Bouncing ball. Will it sit up for Piggy? Yes, it will. And he'll get it done. Didn't have to break stride getting the water off the water boy either, Alex. He must have been a thirsty boy.
It's fantastic work there by the Swans. They were able to just be able to, the ability to be able to slingshot the ball forward this quarter. I know we're not too far into it, but they've been fantastic. It's completely different to what we were seeing in that first term. They were trying to edge their way around the ground. They were switching their sides, and eventually a couple of times they're able to work their way inside 50. But this is so much more accessible for the forwards and so much more productive the way they're getting the ball inside 50. And Biggie Nguyen, he's been the beneficiary of two really good opportunities. So he goes into the ruck now, and the Swans are well inside this game.
Well, he looked battered and bruised in that second term, but a new lease of life on the back of a couple of goals, and he won the tap, nearly a hold there. On Simpson, umpire called play on. We'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground. 11-point lead to the Bloods. Tick over 13 minutes gone, third term. The FNL match setters match of the round down here in the east. Thornycroft with the tap. Rinaldi fed the ball by hand to Simpson, to Zach Rinaldi. Could he give it to Perkins? He would have had to run to his right side. So it was good footy smarts from Zach Rinaldi. He went long. Who got out the back? We're looking for Batty and his opposing number Archibald, who lured into the race for the ball. But the boundary line will beat them both, and we'll get a boundary throw-in just metres around from the Ballarat goal. So the Swans pressing again. In fairness, the breeze has subsided considerably. Rinaldi fed the ball out, meant for Hooper, went through his hands. It's a hot footy at ground level. Some cleanliness from Hickey made it easier for Burquest to release on the left boot. That's a nice grab. The right foot kick goes out direction of Scoble. It went over his head, but he's got the toe. He just needs the bounce. It was an ambitious handball. And now turnover opportunity through Maple to Zach Rinaldi, to Lewis Rinaldi, to Simpson. And that kick will hold up in the breeze. But Perkins is a clever player, and he'll mark just outside 50, and he'll just tip the ball over the top. That was good running from Simpson. He can just tip it over the top and found another Simpson.
Well, they're just finding great opportunities, the Swans. And the Bloods are able to give them... Oh, he's played on.
Across the face of goal. Biggie!
Oh, it's too easy.
Well, good use of the body there from Biggie. He's going to back himself in to have a snap-on goal here by the looks.
Well, he's going back.
Why doesn't he just back in his penetrating drop punt and get it done? Gee, the Bloods' defence, whilst normally sound, just made a meal of that. A bit of credit to Biggie, of course, and he threads it. Biggie's got 3 at Mackie Park. Ballarat got 4, and they're within 5 points. Tick over 15 minutes gone, third term.
Well, Biggie's been the beneficiary, as we did mention earlier, and he's just added another goal to that tally. But it's just the Swans' movement inside, like in the middle of the ground. It's fantastic. It's something we weren't seeing in the first half, that's for sure. And it might be that the Bloods are still on the back foot and they haven't quite clicked on into this third term. But we've been playing, as we can't see how long we've been playing this quarter, but we've been going for a fair while now. And Ballarat have just been able to maintain their pressure and their want around the ball. So a fantastic start to this third term for the Swans.
16 minutes gone, third term. Chris Maple en route safely with eyes on the road to Mackie Park. There's the tap, won by Biggie's. Up and about, ground ball. Walker was ferocious. A little sidestep, right foot kick inside 50. Scoble's hoping to get a little cheeky one out the back, speak of chase, but it was good work there from Constable and good pressure there from Haynes. And they'll work it out. Well, Constable's kick went straight into the Melton goalpost, if you don't mind. So we'll call that a rush behind. Game on here at Mackie Park. So that observation of the breeze subsiding has come to fruition given Ballarat's ability to score into the breeze in this term. Biggie presents. Read it best into the breeze. So it's still there. And laconically drills the ball to outer centre wing. Terrific kick. Simpson, I hope I got that right, but he's one of those soldiers, those Swans prototypes. And Keith has ball in hand. Lone soldier inside the Swans defensive 50. Simpson again goes backwards with a 45 to Keith, who elects to play on. Now, Haynes needs to present here, but Gray provides the shorter option. So he has to forage at ground level, and then he overshoots the handball. Hickey on 50, fed it by Andrew Erickson, lowered the eyes, dropped it in the air, lucky to get away with it. Ferrugia, and then he's held up. And we'll get a ball up 45 metres away from the Melton goal.
There was good persistence there from the Bloods to be able to get that turnover, but you can see the Swans really want to get their ball movement going through, Keith.
Ball up, tap one by Ferrugia, meant for Hickey. Stolen by the Swans, and they'll work it out here. And that right foot kick was a good one there from Zach Rinaldi to Graham, to Perkins, to Maple. He goes boundary side to Richard. No one in front of him. So he's got to stop, prop, and then bomb it long and hope for the best. Piggy's on the end of it. Got it. Oh, he had a bit of it. Good hustling there from Archibald to keep it in, but the boundary umpire says, I'll have it, and we'll get a throw in 50 metres away from the Ballarat goal.
Wouldn't have been far off an infringement there for Newon, but he was in the right spot, and in the end well defended, and they'll get a throw in, but the Swans are looking very menacing.
One goal in it, 5-4 to 4-4. Throw in. Tap one by O'Brien. Speaking of Jack on that occasion. So a swarm of bees around the honeypot, and we'll get a restart. Near 19 minutes gone. Third term. O'Brien just rode the tackle and tried to feed the ball to the outside of Archibald. It was cut off. But Squires was able to square away a stoppage with a tackle 45 metres away from the Ballarat goal.
It'll be interesting to see the amount of tackles that the Swans have been able to conjure up inside 50 so far in this contest.
Thornycroft stood up in that ruck duel. O'Brien went to ground, but no advantage for the Bloods exiting that stoppage. 50 metres away from Ballarat's goal. 6-point lead to Melton. Ball up, tap one by Thornycroft. Perkins knocked it back to square away the territory. Shooting hand pass there from Simpson went forward. into a swarm of players. A bit of a scrappy arm wrestle of sorts at ground level. We'll get a ball up 35 metres away from the Ballarat goal. Near time on. Ball up. O'Brien won that tap, only as far as Manito. Just thumps it onto the boot. Got a territory gain to half-back and some. Over the head of Ferrugia. Follow-up work was good from Braden Kitey. Elected not to gather it cleanly, and he knocked it forward only as far as Gray, who went on the left boot and found Perkins.
It's a great mark.
Perkins on half forward. Now, this is a dangerous kick, but it could be offensive nonetheless. And, well, dropping it there was Adam, who had to give it back to Perkins. They're going to work it out here. Graham, awkward on the left boot for 3-on-1. Archibald did well in the air for the Swans. Oh, that was an excellent hand pass from Lewis Rinaldi to Zach Rinaldi. Went inside 50. Cotter, Manito, steady the ship, found Batty. Didn't go the required. Chance for Drever for Melton. On their defence, Beezer. Defensive 50. Ground ball. And it gets ushered over the line in the end. Players just screaming for a stoppage or a break in play. Bit of fatigue creeping in there. Alex, it's been a gassing 7 or 8 minutes.
That's right. It's a free-flowing footy. Oh, geez, that was a bit of a tongue twister to get out. But, yeah, both sides, some forced turnovers as well.
Gray with a swing with the left. It was good. It found Squires, who gave it to Gray. From inside the centre square, he went along towards Biggie. Over the back there. Good spoil there from Phillips. Got enough on it. Archibald's looked dangerous at ground level. Gathered by Geordie Kite, though, who fed it by Anna Benito, who's been arguably Melton's best. And his short kick was good. Right foot kick to broadcast centre wing. Found Carter. Speaking of Ryan Carter, it was a good kick from Green Shields as Ryan Carter went inside forward 50, looking for brother Liam. Getting back there was Crouch. He had a touch of the fumbles. He needs some support. He hasn't got it yet. Liam Carter just trying to hold it in. But numbers will prevail through Constable, who just hacked it onto the boot, hopeful rather than anything else. Squires could have been held. Umpire called play on. Bloods have got numbers. They keep their feet. Somehow Squires ended up with it. But his hand pass release only went as far as Hickey to the top of the goal square. Thornycroft, opportunity. Nearly threw it away in the end. Umpire called play on. We'll get a ball up just 20 metres away from the Melton goal.
There's a lot of heat on the footy. The pressure gauge would be well up at the moment. It seems as though the umpires are putting the whistle away as well with a few things.
22 minutes gone. Third term, Melton by a goal. They kick with the breeze in this third term. Tackle from Ryan Carter on Adam was lawful, said the umpire. We'll get a ball up.
But it is what we like to see. We like to see footy with the ball on the flow. So it's what we're getting right here.
So Biggie with 3 goals in this term for Ballarat to get them back in it on the scoreboard. Perkins with the clearing kick. He just happy with the territory. The Bloods have got an outnumber. Oh, it's a hot footy. Oh, shrugging the tackle beautifully there was Gray, and he just tipped it over to Biggie. Took a nice overhead mark. And just not much forward presenting for Biggie. He just needs to keep the ball safe. Now, this is a dangerous kick. Made it difficult for Haynes. Turnover. Greenshields got the loose ball to Thornycroft. Back to Greenshields. And his vision out of the corner of the eye was terrific and found Braden Kite. So the kick I was talking about from Biggie, there was no one forward, so he took a risk and it didn't pay off. Braden Kite. Yes. Carter. Liam Carter has outpointed Constable on that occasion. We'll go back and have a shot on goal here.
Constable's done so well today. I think we need to highlight that as well. And Carter's had it tough, and he's been able to outbody him there and show his class. Gets his chance to have another shot on goal. One that's much needed for the Bloods at the moment after all this pressure and the way that the Swans have started this quarter, or have maintained it throughout this third term. A big opportunity here for the Bloods.
Near 24 minutes gone. Third term, Melton lead by 6. Kick to come, and Carter gets the most important goal for the Bloods in the context of this game. And the margin back to 12. 6-4-40 Melton. Ballarat 4-4-28. Entertaining third quarter. It's been probably the best of the 3 that we've seen so far, Alex,
most
today.
Definitely.
We've got a game on here at McPherson Park.
We sure do, and we can have a quick look around the grounds as well. We've got the Marsh leading Sunbury 66-49. We have no scores out of Northland Redan, of course. Then we got Darley leading Sebas 68-64. So we've been able to gain the lead. And then East up 87-42 against the Lakers.
Back of the restart. It'll be Simpson, who's had a good game. Gee, that one went 40 up and, well, needless to add, 40 down. Squires got on the end of it, clearly went the required, and Richard got on the end of that and took a clean chest mark. He's continued to present all day. He hasn't been the beneficiary of some real, genuine, clean entries, but he's provided a target forward. And with all respect to Richard, who's continued to present, I mean, with Harry Butler in that forward line,
it's hard to get the opportunity.
Gee,
That's
that would make the proposition of the Swans even more difficult. And the kick from Richard was good. He found Perkins on the lead.
He's been great this quarter, Perkins.
Yeah, he's been arguably Ballarat's most influential player between the arcs for the season in best 4 of 5.
It's going to take a pretty good effort from here, you'd say, but I think it's well in his wheelhouse.
Well, he'll kick from 40 into the breeze and a chance to narrow the margin back to 6 as we approach 26 minutes into this third term. Kicks on its way. It won't get a goal. Loose ball spoil. It's just been rushed through for a behind in the end. So while we're on that cliche of arm wrestle and the like of sort in the second term, we'll go as early as saying handy point.
Oh, mate, yes.
We'll bring up another one of the old classics.
Yes.
So Cotter got on the end of that exit kick. Oh, that was a dangerous one at that. And Ballarat will get a ball up here, 49 metres away from their goal.
Well, it's things we're not really used to seeing from Melton out of their back half, the way that they move the ball out so well. These turnovers, they're just creating massive opportunities here for the Swans.
Ball up, tap one by Stewart, ground level ball. Foraging, there was Hooper. And he hung onto the footy. And we get a ball up. Graham, Stewart. No pun intended with the Darley Life member, of course. Ball goes forward and Cotter cut it off, just outpointed Maple on that occasion, but it wasn't paid, said the umpire. Must have been touched off the boot, so Maple went into damage control and was able to deny Cotter an exit. We'll get a ball up. 20 metres away from the Ballarat goal. This is an important couple of minutes here in the context of this game. Can Ballarat make this entry count? 27 and a half minutes into this third term. They trailed by 11 points. A goal here, needless to say, will get them within 5. Biggie with the tap. Went boundary side. Hurry, tick out of the congestion from Simpson. It's just snuck it through for another behind. Their 6th of the afternoon. 10 scoring shots apiece. 6-4 plays 4-6. 10-point margin in favour of the Bloods. Near 28 minutes gone, third term. Manito to bring the ball back into play. Found Batty, who was strong overhead, and continued the pattern of play with those little pop kicks. Burquest with the left boot. It's a high kick, slow one at that. Opened the door for Archibald. And his fist on the footy was terrific. He got it to the safety of the boundary line. And an all-important stoppage here for the Swans, 55 metres away from their goal.
Well, it's just fundamental errors for the Bloods at the moment that's really shooting them in the foot. So those are things that you should be able to shore up. So we'll see how that goes throughout the rest of this contest.
Boundary throw in, front spot. There was Stewart, couldn't impact the contest. Green Shields ran past the footy, but his intent was right. And we'll get another stoppage on half forward for the Swans.
But that also comes as the way that the Swans have been able to set up behind the ball. It's been great to watch in this second half.
Well, Cotter's all on his own inside the Bloods' defensive 50. So they must have a +1 around the footy, Ballarat. Although that's squared up at the other end, actually. We've just spotted that square up. Kite, speak of Geordie. And he got it to Jack Walker. He took them on. Burquest, he's in trouble as great. Nearly ran him down, but he just released the ball by foot to a vacant forward line. And it leg braked over the line for a boundary throw-in. Lucky let off there, really, for the Bloods. Because it wasn't the best entry from Burquest. And they'll get a boundary throw-in 35 metres around from their goal. So for the time spent in that front half, that dangerous period for the Swans, they weren't able to get a fourth for the term.
No, that's true.
Now, what say the Bloods? 29 and a half minutes gone in this third turn. Can they get a late one? Because that would certainly give them some momentum going into the final turn. It was a shallow throw in. Thornycroft couldn't gather. Scobles, we could chase, was an opportunistic, hopeful little chip. It was cut off there by O'Brien. Hurried kick to broadcast centre wing. Cotter and Biggie. Well, Biggie just pushed him off the footy and then just tacked it forward. And they got numbers here, the Bloods. And the siren will sound. While it's an 11-point advantage to Melton at three-quarter time, this game appears deadlocked. Really, hardly anything in it, Alex, heading into the final break.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I think we've become well accustomed to a close game between Melton and Ballarat in recent seasons. I know there was a 20-point game away last year and the draw that was played out here late last season. So we are probably more accustomed than we think to a close game in this fixture. But, yeah, it's going to be one that goes right down to the wire, and no surprise to see it so close at three-quarter time.
We'll get some goal scorers from you, please, Alex, ahead of our final break for the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll start with the Bloods. We got Liam Carter, the only person with multiple goals. He's got 2. Then we got Jordan Kite, Cole Ball, Conrad Ferrugia, and Max Scoble with the 1 each. Then we go to the Swans, Zach Rinaldi with the 1, and then Biggie Newen with 3 third-quarter goals. Really was the shining light for the Swans in that third term and was able to pull them into the game, and not only inside 50 but around the ground. He made his presence felt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the breeze. It's just been gusty, and unfortunately for the Bloods, it just died off in the first half of that third term, which did ease the cause of the Swans, who deserved their shots on goal in fairness, and they were able to pinch 3 all through Biggie, who extends his season tally to 18 now in his 5th game of 6 for the season. Just waiting to check on some scores from around the grounds. And Alex, you may have some of those for us.
Just refresh now. We'll get to the Backers game. Backers still leading 66-49 against Sunbury. And we scroll down to Darley versus Sebas, where Darley a 10-point leader, 74-64 against Sebastopol. And then East up 87-43 against the Lakers. So East still holding that margin against the Lakers, and Darley have been able to wrestle the lead back against Sebas.
On that note, we'll take a break ahead of the final quarter action here at McPherson Park. It's the Bloods who lead the Swans by 10 points.
So we get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put him in front.
Bloods, who's at centre-half forward and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous-ish spot in the left-forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy to Fulton, outstretched hands together from Pittard, took a bounce on the cricket pitch if you don't mind. Kicked into a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back-to-back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chance for McLean, who loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable. Welcome back to McPherson Park ahead of the final quarter action in BFNL's match of the round down here in the East. Melton lead by 10 points, 6-4 to 4-6. And if there's any advantage to be assumed at this final change, it will be the breeze advantage to the right of screen where the Swans kick in this final term. Play underway. Graham won that tap through the hands of Perkins. Hickey will get the free kick and the advantage through Jack Walker. Braden Kite 50 metres out from goal. And he'll go wide of the pocket. Oh, that's strong hands there from Geordie Kite.
It's great, mate. The Kite partnership, we haven't seen that for a while due to, obviously, Geordie's injuries, but it just shows Braden hasn't been able to get into the game yet. They've done really well, the Swans, to be able to limit his opportunities. And he's been able to get a nice kick to his brother. They've been able to lower their eyes, which probably hasn't happened towards this end of the ground as much today. But it's a good opportunity here to start the quarter well.
So Geordie Kite kicks on its way. It's a fair effort from the little man, and he gets it done.
It's a fantastic kick. He's second now. He's a player that the Bloods have definitely missed down forward. He offers great opportunity at the feet, but he has some great hands, much like his brother, to be able to play above his head, probably a bit taller than he is. So he's a great inclusion for the side, and he'll go a long way to keeping the Bloods in this game.
And a steadier.
Yes, most definitely.
I think it might be Geordie's second of the afternoon.
Yes, it is.
And a 16-point lead to the Bloods. Just 90 seconds into this final term. Back at the restart. Graham won the tap. Nearly as good as a kick towards half forward. Swooping on it was Handley. Elected to go by hand. The right call to Jack Walker. So going to spring in their step early, the Bloods in this final term. Despite the lead, Borg loves that soccer to advantage. And he tries to do it again. And then I think he might have coughed it up with the lasso there, did he? Well, he must have just got to the inside 50.
Inside 50.
We'll get a boundary throw in 45 metres away from the Melton goal.
You'll appreciate that, that's for sure. But the Bloods have started on their toes. They're 2 clearances so far, so it just shows that they've worked out what they need to do, and they're the ones starting on the front foot.
Boundary throw in, shallow one at that, favoured Farrugia. Braden Kite just bounced off his chest. And we'll get a repeat throw in. Bloods will be just happy with the ball in their front half. And lead by 16. Throw in. Graham just knocked it back towards the boundary line. And copy-paste throw in.
It's as if both sides have realised they're up against it, kicking into the breeze, and down this end of the ground, they're playing their best footy when they're having to kick down this end. So it's great viewing, that's for sure.
Graham, tap, searching, crouch, soccer again there from Borg. Then he's forced to apply the tackle on Paddy O'Brien. A few double ups with surnames here this afternoon. Hard to believe one of them's not Walker. Battistella to Perkins, fed the ball by hand. Smart somehow kept it in, but he turned it over to Walker. Right foot kick inside 50. Paddy O'Brien couldn't hang on. Opened the door for Geordie Kite. He's swarmed by Swans. And the umpire said held to him in the end. We'll get a ball up. So now it's Ballarat's turn to absorb the pressure. They'll get an opportunity late, you'd think, but just now, the here and now. Braden Kite took some time to get rid of it. Farrugia dribbling ball towards the boundary line. That's gone out of bounds on the full. Off the foot of Jack O'Brien. And it's going to be a free kick to Geordie Kite.
That's very unfortunate there for the Swans.
Well, it was there. Did happen.
That's right. Oh, no, but it's a slice of luck there for the Bloods, and they'll relish this shot. This is probably one of the toughest kicks of the afternoon.
So up against the boundary line, Geordie Kite, banana, across the face. Yeah, just the lights came on, yes, and just spoilt Liam Carter's attempt at marking there. Well, we'll just say that.
Yeah, we'll say it.
We'll roll with it. Boundary throwing. Bloods in attack here. Oh, Perugia just ushered Graham underneath the footy, but his kick was smothered. Ground ball opportunity for Hickey. Ball spat out now. Crouch needs to bend, and he did, and he fed it by hand. Perkins was terrific. So too Zach Maple through traffic. He had an outnumber to deal with, and now the numbers will catch up and prevail for the Bloods through Cotter. And got it to Batty, to Chase Scable, back to Batty, who went backwards with a 45. And the kick was okay to Ryan Carter. He went to Burquest with the left boot. Okay, broadcast side. Just needs to sit up for him, and it did. Chance for Manito. Ball's gone to ground. Oh, now you're in trouble. Somehow got boot to ball then, Keith, who got it to Maple, who got it to Perkins, who found Hooper.
Wow, you had to probably congratulate the way that the Swans were able to defend that situation, because it looked as though the Bloods were going to be out switching to this side of the ground, but all it took was an errant kick, and the way that they were able to swarm. You see the way they're trying to set up the Swans, have their numbers behind the ball, and obviously weather the storm of the Bloods, and then slingshot forward all together. And it's ended up with a shot on goal here for Hooper.
And he makes no mistake, Hooper. And the Swans, they stay within touch. They're within 10 points. Near 6 minutes gone, final term. 7-4-46 Melton. Ballarat 5-6-36.
Yeah, game is still well in the balance, and as you did allude to at the start of the quarter, if there was any advantage, you'd probably say it's to the side that is kicking to the side with the wind, which today probably hasn't been the story of the game. I feel like it's been pretty even scoring both sides of the ground, but that is definitely in Ballarat's favour.
The lights are on here at Mackie Park. Fortunately, someone is at home, and it's the Bloods this afternoon, and we're endeavouring to get an all-important win against the Swans as they hack the ball out of the middle of the ground at Kite. He's looking to be elusive, and then fed it by hand to Borg, who didn't have to bend, so it was a good handball from Braden Kite. Left foot kick from Borg to a dangerous area. Carter second grab. Held up. We'll get a ball up. Top of the goal square for the Bloods.
Yeah, another great defensive effort there from Constable, not allow Carter to take that mark. It's been a great matchup throughout this contest.
Ball up. Graham on the tap. Not out of trouble yet. Geordie Kite to Braden Kite. Left foot. Don't tell me. Oof. No, left, always left to behind. 11-point lead to the Bloods. 7-5 plays 5-6. 7 minutes gone, final term. And Brad Crouch will bring the ball back into play. And he'll do the old-fashioned tumbling torpedo punt. It was a poor kick. 7 minutes into this final term. He could use the ball a bit better than that. As Handley went wide to Burquest, who went with the left boot. The kick was good enough for Hickey. He just dropped it at the last second. Opened the door for Squires, who's had a good day. To Gray, to Simpson, who ran to centre wing, took a bounce. Just needs an overlap. It was a slow kick. It made it difficult for Hooper. But he's hung on to that despite the physical attention of Phillips at the back, who just made him earn it. 11-point lead. So quite the opposite of Crouch. Hooper just takes his time and then sends it forward in the biggie direction.
Oh. Jeez, his name was all over that. You just felt he was going to be the one marking it.
Terrific grab. Made it look easier than what it was. And we haven't seen a great deal of aerial, dominance at all today, given the swirly breeze. So that was an exceptional aerial clutch grab there from Biggie, who's a ping shot for goal number 4 and a chance to narrow the margin to 5. Distance won't be a problem from here. It'll be all about negotiating the breeze. And Biggie, to the sounds of the horns, has got the Swans back within 5 points here at McPherson Park. Near 9 minutes gone, final term. Melton 7-5-47. Cling to a 5-point lead over Ballarat 6-6-42.
Oh, hasn't he been a story this game? He's been fantastic. He's been the one who's been the beneficiary of some really good entries from the Swans, who definitely shored up their ball movement in the second half, and it just goes to show that, especially with this breeze and kicking to this end of the ground, it's only going to be even better for the forwards, and he had his name all over that, Mark.
Back at the restart. Graham won the tap. He's been good in the second half for these. And Simpson charging off half forward. Got it to Crouch. Dribbling ball towards the attacking 50. Well presented there was Keith. Fed it by hand to Simpson. Back to Crouch. Weighs up the options. Guess who? Biggie will go back and have a shot on goal here. Such as the respect that the Melton camp have got for Biggie. Carter's gone behind the footy. He was unable to deny Biggie that lead up and mark. And for goal number 5, in a game that has only had 13 goals collectively kicked for the match, he's arguably been the difference. And he could well put Ballarat in front for the first time today. From 50, Biggie, Breeze, brings it back. No work for the goal umpire. Just plenty for the supporters to get up and about for the Swans, because they've got the lead here at Mackey Park. Tick over 10 minutes into this final term. 7-6-48.
There is number 5.
Lead Melton 7-5-47. Got a 1-point ball game. Let's not forget venue last year, 69 apiece, if you don't mind. We played out a draw.
That's right. Oh, could well be on the cards again today.
The draw double.
Oh,
100 to 1.
Oh, I wouldn't even take that, if I'm being honest. But it's just crazy stuff. And Ballarat have really come to play in this final term.
Well, Ballarat are now favourites, given the breeze and what's transpired in the second half. Borg fed it by hand to Greenshields, took them on. It was good pressure from Rinaldi, but the Bloods got it back through Borg, who broke the tackle of Gray and ran away on the left boot, went inside 50. Faruja. Credit to the Bloods. Every time the Swans get a goal, the Bloods are able to get an immediate deep entry. And they'll be looking to make the most of this through the agency of Faruja.
Well, Faruja just found himself in the right place there from the ball kicker. In between two defenders, it just lobbed nicely into his hands. And yeah, obviously we harped on about it today, about this being such a tough kick. There's been a few opportunities from this end. Let's see what he makes of it.
So it'll be Faruja. He'll kick from just inside 50. We saw Biggie kick one from here in the third term. That won't even come back from behind.
Just stayed straight.
Yeah,
he probably wasn't expecting that.
Well, plenty of weight through the footy. Just kept it left and always left, and that would have been a handy point. So the Swans' opportunity to rebound as they lope away with a penetrating kick to half-back. Keith at the back. He nearly pushed Carter, but the umpire called play and he just lobbed it over the top to the running Zach Mabel. He can go inboard to Richard. Well, he nearly fell over the big fella, but from 50, he went to a dangerous area. Biggie, Carter, over the back. Phillips knocks it through. So Phillips has gone back to lend a hand. Well, I know that's his primary role there, but Carter off Biggie momentarily, and Phillips to assume the role. Manito, or maybe Carter was just caught out.
Yeah, that is true.
Coincidentally in that previous play, for me to assume that Carter had gone to him. Manito to the outer side of the ground, cut off by O'Brien. I speak of Paddy on this occasion. They got it to Simpson, who went long. Batty over the back. They can work it out here. Richard, Squires, goal! Another one for the Swans.
Yeah, a little bit of an error there from the Bloods defence. Everyone going up for the footy, not killing it, and then having two Swans players out the back by themselves, literally able to walk it into an open goal. So an error there in the Bloods defence, but fantastic work by the Swans, who are just everywhere at the moment. They're playing some really spirited footy, and they're making the most of it.
8-point lead to Ballarat, 8-7-55. Melton 7-5-47, 13 and a half minutes gone in this final term. Braden Kite into the middle. Jack Walker, Jacob Hickey. Whilst for the Swans, you've got Biggie, Rinaldi, Perkins, and Simpson. Perkins gets it. Got it to Lewis Rinaldi. Got ball to boot. Off balance. Foot race on here. Zach Rinaldi leads into the race for the ball. He's elusive. Oh, nice little sidestep. He goes with the right boot. Could have gone to Biggie in the middle of the ground, but elect to go towards the attacking 50. And they've coughed it up here, Ballarat. So, the kick smothered. Manito's kick. And now we'll get a ball up 55 metres away from the Swans goal.
Even errors such as that, you're not accustomed to the Bloods players, especially in their primary role of chipping the ball around to be able to kick it into the man on the mark. It just shows where they're at the moment and that what they need to do to be able to get back into this game.
Ball up. Thornycroft. And Jack Walker never far away from the action. He's tried hard all day for the Bloods. Ball up, tap one by Thornycroft through the breadbasket of Perkins, who was forced to apply the tackle in the end. Biggie kept it in. It was good vision to Rinaldi. Right foot kick. Dangerous. Phillips forced to do the mopping up. And rebound for the Bloods, only as far as Biggie went through his hands. It was a good enough aerial presence from Thornycroft to deny him. Greenshields got the ground ball. His kick went into traffic and ricocheted over the line for a boundary throw-in. We're going to play down. Deep in attack for the Swans.
Hard to gauge who it is from here, is it Keith?
In a bit of a bad way there, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
very groggy.
Yeah, he's every bit a left-sided player, and he's just walking to the right, so he can't be well, Keith.
Oh, it's not good to see players like that.
Well, he's looking very uncomfortable at the moment. I'm not even sure whether he knows that he's in the safe hands of the trainers. I think now it's starting to kick in. But gee, he looks awfully groggy in a game that now approaching the 16-minute mark of this final term. Former Footscray key defender gone forward in this final term.
Oh, we know how instrumental he would have been for the Swans in this final 15 minutes.
So if he's gone off with the concussion rule, we'll get back to that in a moment. Kick across the body from Squires, goes in the direction of Zach Maple. His follow-up work was good before he was held up. It was good pressure from Ryan Carter. We'll get a ball up. So if Keith is labelled concussed, he will miss the Bacchus Marsh game in a fortnight's time. That to keep an eye on at Alverton Oval. Batty, Rinaldi, Hooper went to ground, did the collapse forward through the line over the boat, didn't get a bite. Good umpiring.
That is.
8-point lead to the Swans. Been a collective 10-goal second half, been far more entertaining than the 5-goal opening half. Left foot kick across the body from Simpson. Found his opposing number in 23 in Ryan Carter, who wasted no time in the direction of Greenshields. He needs to be elusive here. Good pressure from Zach Maple. Cotter pushed forward. And he's been pinged for a throw, much to his disappointment. And it's going to have to come back. The Swans wanted the advantage. They are away. They're going to raffle it amongst themselves. Can they find something under the pump here, the Bloods? 8 points in arrears, 17.5 minutes gone. Breeze has subsided.
Mm-hmm.
And short kick was okay from Maple. To Rinaldi, who went forward, over the head of Biggie. Loose ball at the back, doing the mobbing up. There was Stewart. Kick needs to be good. Oh, Scoble just spent it before he had it entirely. Simpson, and then Scoble just plays the percentages, did well in the end to get it over the line. We get a boundary throw in.
Yeah, have to reset there after an error.
18 minutes
Looks like there's a bit of biff going on as well. Free kick given away from Hooper to Lockie Erickson.
So Erickson will take the resultant free kick. He'll go with the right boot along the line, beyond the defensive 50. Farrugia in front. Well rode there by Braden Kai with the outside of the right boot. He heads in the Carter direction. It was good use of the body there by Constable, who looks to go short to Crouch, who demanded the footy, leading backwards and got it. And now he'll hold up play. And he'll go with the right boot towards half forward. Richard the target, provide an aerial. Chance here for Gray, couldn't hang on. Maple. He too got obviously read Hooper's book of forward craft. Just momentum took him forward, I'll say that.
All small forwards do it.
Ball up. Tap one by Graham. Clever tap from Simpson, only as far as Braden Kite. And we'll get a ball up. 8-point lead. 4 goals to Biggie.
A 5.
5 to
5,
Biggie.
yes.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if anyone gets 30 or 35 today. That 5 goals in a game that's had 15 kick for the match has really been the separation. Walker got it to Manito through the middle of the ground. It was a tumbling kick. Good use to the body by Geordie Kite, who opened the door for Borg. He's already had one moment today. Can he have another from 35? Borg! He gets it done and keeps the Bloods alive in this final term. Near time on.
Oh, that's electric stuff. It wasn't something. It was against the grain, that is for sure. You didn't see a moment like that coming, but you knew that if they were able to get the ball forward and get out the back, get that run on, which they do possess, that there'd be an opportunity, and he's taken it with full
gusto.
Gusto. That's a good way to put it, and he's crafty when he's on the run.
8-5-53, the Bloods. They're within 2 points of the Swans. 8-7-55. Time on, final term. Ball up. Back at the restart. What a climax to this FNL round 6 match of the round. Graham again won the tap. Simpson held up by Walker, and we'll get a ball up. So there's still 5 or 6 Bloods to come back into the side if we're to guesstimate the best version of their best 22. Well, Rinaldi was held on for too long. Well, he helped himself, though, out of the contest, in fairness. Hickey, now he's in trouble and pinged.
Yeah, he was given a lot of time.
So Simpson on accumulation alone would be in the Swans' best this afternoon. Werribee VFL listed player goes short to Graham. He doesn't get any shorter the longer the day goes. Neither does this man. Biggie.
It's just like the
And
lane's
Ryan
open
Carter-
for him.
Ryan Carter was trailing Biggie on that occasion, and can't do much about that.
No, you can't.
That's just a nice weighted entry kick, and so Biggie for goal number 6. Can he get it done and get that one back and increase the lead back to 8 points? He's normally a beautiful kick, Biggie. Well, it was a nice kick, but off to the left.
Just left. Yeah, their ability to get him that opportunity, though, to have that shot on goal, leave it open, leave the hole open and have him lead into it so often is just fantastic by the Swans, because a lot goes into that.
3-point lead. Manito out of defence. Oh, gee, Borg. It was good leg speed to take that mark. Made it look easier than what it was. So too, Button there with a bit of ground level craft to get that on the full. Barely
Slips
went the
catching.
required, yep. So Button with ball in hand. They trail the game, the Bloods. Right foot kick to outer centre wing. Simpson. Much to the chagrin of Handley, just outpointed him on that occasion. And under the lights of Mackie Park, he sends the ball. Oh, Carter's read this best from a lot fair way out. And he played on. He went by Andy Cotter. He's under the pump. Not out of trouble yet, the Bloods. Look out! Hooper! Oh, he's missed off to the right.
Oh, you'd expect him to knock those down. I know it's quick and the ball's moving fast, but he's very good at those crafty snaps.
Yeah, he's been doing that for the best part of 25 years, Hooper. So it'll be Carter to bring the ball back into play. Speaking of Bryant, Borg read it best. That's nearly 50, but umpire benefit of the doubt. And the kick from Borg was cut off by Simpson. Speaking of Thomas, and the kick was fine and found Richard, who just collapsed at the body contact. Right call from the umpire. Just go back and take your shot, son. But, I mean, Richard would have had less than 10 disposals today, but he'll sleep better than anyone tonight. Just the aerial presence and the body contact that he's copped this afternoon at both ends.
You know, most would know, but the amount of running work that these tall forwards have to do, getting up and down the ground as well, a lot of it is unrewarded. So a lot of them do get to sleep well at night after the games. But this is his opportunity, of course.
Not always on the Premier Data stats, the running and the aerial presence. So an important kick here for Richard. And that one stayed left, but it's coming back. And he likes it. There's some separation again in time on for the Swans. Now a 10-point ball game.
Oh, he shaped that perfectly, and like we said, that's his. Footy is a game of moments, and as it's all forward, it might not be your day throughout the game, but you can get that opportunity to kick your goal. And in a time like this for the Swans, it's very much needed. They bridge their gap back to 10 points, and they're going a long way to win this game.
He's worked hard today, Richard. Just with his aerial presence, getting the ball to ground. Didn't have the best service in the opening half of just like his effort. Ball up. Back of the restart. Graham again. He's just dominated hit-outs the longer this game's gone, especially those in the middle of the ground. I guess the boundary throw-ins are a different kettle of fish, and there's another example as Graham won the tap to Manito. Just handballed it to his player that where he was and not where he was going. So Walker took a running bounce and sent it forward. Opportunity here for Liam Carter. Just took his eyes off it momentarily. Jack Walker kept pressing forward to square away a stoppage. Gee, the GPS numbers of Jack Walker to surprise a few too, I imagine. 25 minutes gone, final term. Tap one by Graham. Rinaldi. Speak of Lewis Rinaldi. Went inside by hand. It was too hot for Perkins. Button stole it. Good ball security. Squared away a stoppage. We'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground. 25 and a half minutes gone. Final term. Ballarat lead by 10 points. Ball up. Can the Bloods manufacture two? Well, Ball got their last one. He fed it by hand to the outside. Manito, he'll back in his penetration, but he elected to go by hand to Carter. Shot on goal across the face. But
He
it's
snuck it home. He snuck it home. And just like that, it ain't over. It's the fine lines in this game.
Oh,
It's seesawing at the moment.
9-5-59 Melton. 9-9-63 Ballarat. 26 minutes gone, final term. The anticipation of this game has most certainly lived up to the billing and the allocation of the BFNL's match of the round down here in the east. Ballarat looking to extend to 5-1 ahead of the interleague break, whilst Melton looking to get one back and entrench themselves well into this top six, despite having a handful of injuries for the most part of the opening third of the season. Can they get another? Time ticking away. 9 goals apiece, just separated by the 3 behinds to the advantage of Ballarat. Here they go. Perkins been super. Left foot kick. Read best by Hanley. Drop it he'd normally take, despite the degree of difficulty with the swirly breeze. And we'll get a ball up 50 metres away from the Ballarat goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were sitting here at half-time thinking maybe this could be a dour contest that would just roll out in front of us, but it definitely hasn't seemed to be that way in the end.
Well, it was 69 apiece the last time they met here. They're not far off a copy-paste version. Hickey, Manito, Burquest, Green Shields, Burquest, taken to the ground, no prior. And we'll get a ball up.
It's great pressure, though, by the Swans.
Yeah, Richard again and Rinaldi. 4-point lead to Ballarat. Graham with the tap. Manito somehow got ball to boot. Bouncing one at that. They'll need to touch this to avoid Illiso. Thornycroft kept it in. Threw it to Borg. It was held up by Crouch. And we'll get a ball up right in front of us here. True centre wing broadcast side. Time ticking away for the Bloods. They trail by 4 points. Ball up. Tap one by Stewart. Jack Walker caught one high. Then went to ground. Now Squires has caught over the footy and we'll get a ball up. 59 Melton, 63 Ballarat. It'll be Graham. Won the tap. Only as far as Borg, who's been dangerous. Loose hand pass. Open the door for the Swans through O'Brien. Borg follow up. One of the hold denied. Fell back into the hands of Squires. They'll work it out, the Swans. Thomas Simpson with a tumbling torpedo. Only as far as Phillips. Biggie kept his feet. Can he release the footy? He needs some reinforcements. But the Bloods, they've got the outnumber. And Manito will get it done. And he fed the ball back towards Phillips. Kick meant for ball. Cut off by Zach Rinaldi. Fed it inboard. Richard. Well, Poor hand pass in the end. It was a tired exit by hand from Borg. Rinaldi kept going. Fight it by hand. Hot footy. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Swans for a push. And poor old Borg, he's out on his feet.
Oh, there wouldn't be long left either.
Whatever Borg's GPS numbers is, I'd hate to know how much of those metres were at speed.
Oh, yeah.
There's no loafing around for
No.
for Borg. And Lewis Rinaldi will have a shot on goal as Biggie, who's booted 5 goals this afternoon, all in the second half, mind you. It's had a super game. And Lewis Rinaldi will take this shot on goal here. He'll just suck some seconds off the clock. Ticks to 29.5 minutes. This will essentially be the sealer if he can get it done. Quality player. Can we get a quality finish? Yes, we can.
Fantastic
What a finish
kick
from the Swans. They get their 10th. And ironically, they move to their score of last year, 69. 10-9-69 Ballarat. Lead Melton 9-5-59. Near 30 minutes gone final term.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'll be getting the draw this time. I think, well, you'd nearly think Ballarat have done enough here. And this quarter has been fantastic by the Swans. We saw the Bloods on the front foot early on. I mean, we were thinking that we would see a normal response by the Bloods when they're under pressure going into the last quarter, but the Swans have been able to stick in there and match what Melton have done and better.
You'd think siren imminent. Ballarat have taken Perkins, Crouch, Keith and Biggie off the ground.
Yes, that is a pretty good telltale.
Back at the restart. Ball up. Graham. He's fought doggedly into the ruck. He's been he seems much more comfortable with the centre ball up than the boundary. I know they're invariable, the throw-ins from the boundary, with the breeze, but with an even jump at it, he's been dominant. And he fed the ball by hand to Squires, who went backwards to Smart, who found Simpson, who's had plenty of it. Speak of Thomas. In the Richard direction. Tired, but a clever tap to the advantage of Zach Rinaldi. He's had a good day. Got it to the outside to Simpson. Gave it back over towards Lewis Rinaldi. Squaring ball. Danger. Zach Mabel got out the back. Can he do enough? Well, he can't in the end, but he saw it through for a behind. Ballarat's 10th of the afternoon. 10-10-70 Ballarat. Melton 9-5-59. So they waste no time. Will endeavour not to. Manito forced to go short in the end to Jack Walker. He's tried his heart out today. Right foot kick out in the direction of Thornycroft. Could hang on. Gray could. Send it back into attack. Bouncing ball. Phillips can do the mopping up, but he needs some help because look out. Rinaldi's going to pick his pocket. Can he keep it in? Played on. Gave it to Archibald, but it had already gone through for a behind. 12-point lead to Ballarat. So Phillips will waste no time. Go direct, straight up the ground. Carter presented, took a nice overhead mark. And the siren sounds, and it's been an excellent come from behind win from the Swans. They've confirmed or consolidated their statement as legitimate flag contenders in the race for 2026. 10-11-71. They've defeated Melton 9-5-59. Ballarat booted 9 goals to 5 in the second half to get it done, Alex.
Yeah, it's such a gutsy effort from the Swans, who in the second term, most notably, were on the back foot. Felt like even though they were at the end of the ground where they finished up here and they've notched up these goals in the last quarter, they were struggling to move the ball forward. And there would have been some stern words at halftime, you would have to think, to be able to get them back on track and get them playing the footy that they want to be playing. And that footy is fantastic. And they were able to nullify the Bloods' best players. I think there's been a few players that didn't have the greatest games today, but some very notable players for the Swans that were fantastic. And I think Biggie Newan with the 5, the beneficiary of the good entries in the second half, he was just fantastic.
Yeah, the Bloods were brave. I mean, there's a bit going on behind the scenes at the Bloods, with their ability to have players 100%, not to mention, the likes of, Lockie Watkins, for example, on the side. When can we see, what's his go? What's going on, Alex?
Your guess is as good as mine at the moment, Toddy, honestly. But that's the thing. Teams have injuries, and that is the thing. You can't escape that. Footy's footy. It's a tough game, and it's hard to have players readily available all the times, but it's not just the Bloods that are copping that as well. It's league wide, but that's just the way it is. You got to soldier on, and the blokes that go out there are the ones that have got to try and get the job done.
That's right, and they're more than capable. They've proven it here time and time again, the Bloods, and they did it a couple of weeks ago against the reigning premiers, Darley, who they've beaten 5 of the last 6 times. So full credit to the Swans, who came here and drew last year and were able to back that form up. They've had some important additions into the off-season, and they've deserved their win. They come from behind win today. They were a bit sort of one-paced in that opening half, trying to adjust the conditions, but just a reset of sorts at the half for Ash Baker and his crew. And Biggie, I mean, he limped off looking like he wanted to go duty-free shopping in that second term. Such was just the arm wrestle and the laborious nature of that opening half for the Swans, but they were able to get the game on their own terms, especially early in that third term. We sort of sensed a revival, and Biggie was clearly the difference in the game. So concerns for Alex Keith, who was clearly unconscious. So I'm in, well, you know...
he looks in good spirits now, that is to say. But
that's right.
But, yeah, there'd definitely be something to come of that.
So, obviously, there's no game next week, but he'll miss the Ballarat game if that head assessment comes to fruition. But all honours with the Swans. They'll enjoy watching that replay, albeit the second half. And what was touted to be a biggie game in the preview has really lived up to that prediction, Alex. And honours with the Swans. They go 5-1.
They do.
All right, now, let's just take a look about what's going on around other... Oh, you got the goal scorers, Alex.
Yeah, we'll go with the goal scorers. We'll start with the Bloods. We had Liam Carter with the 3, Jordan Kite and Kyle Borg with 2, Conrad Ferrugia and Max Scoble both with the 1. And then we go to the Swans. We had Biggie Newen, obviously, with the 5 goals. And then we have 5 single goal scorers. Sorry, we got Zach Rinaldi, Lewis Rinaldi, Andrew Hooper, Richard, and then we are missing just one. I was trying to get your attention a little earlier. I think whoever had waltzed into an open goal earlier on, we just missed that recording down on the sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was a single goal scorer. But that's all we've got down. It was just the Swans, the better team on the day, a better side coming out there in the second half, and they were able to put the Bloods away.
A real interesting scenario unfolding at CE Brown Reserve. Lake Windaree 44. Trailing East Point 87, match abandoned. So there'll be something may have happened there. We just haven't been notified. Sebastopol, 22-point winners over Darley at this stage, 102 to 80. So they've been able to kick away in that final term. We've got no scorer out of Redan post that halftime update where North Ballarat led by 8 points and Bacchus Marsh have defeated Sunbury by 28 points. So looks like Bacchus Marsh, Sebastopol are going to record good wins. Interesting to see what happens with that East Point Lakers scenario, but East were 43 points up when they called it off for whatever reason. And, well, you'll have to check Play HQ later for an update score from City Oval, where North Ballarat led Redan by 8 points at the half. Well, honours with Ballarat here in BFNL's Match of the Round live from the East. They've been able to take down Melton by 12 points. They've done it in style. They've come from behind, and Biggie was the star with 5 goals. Alex, thanks very much for your comments right throughout the afternoon, and Connor, your contribution with the vision. So on behalf of the crew here from McPherson Park, we bid you all a very good afternoon.
So we get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put him in front.
Bloods who's at centre half forward and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous-ish spot in the left forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy to Fulton, outstretched hands. Danger. From Pittard, took a bounce on the cricket pitch, if you don't mind. Kicked into a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back-to-back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chance for McLean, who loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable.